Good now, everybody, and welcome to Octant Demo Day. I'm Evan Mann, he's Alex Popovich, and we are so excited to be your guest hosts for what is sure to be a phenomenal day of pitches, product demos, and proper quadratic funding. What's quadratic funding, you ask? Or maybe you didn't. We'll get to it. But first, let me just say, Alex, it's great to be back with you. Thank you so much for being here, man.
Dude, anytime. I will never miss an opportunity to ride your coattails to an excellently hosted event and look great standing next to you.
If you want to know who the heck are these guys and why did Octant give them the keys, we are past grant recipients, members of Epoch 9. Shout out to the friends. And we're glad to welcome back a lot of our old friends, as well as getting to meet some new friends. If you want to learn more about us, you can find us on Twitter. I'm at Evan_man. He's at Alex Faceless Labs. And then, of course, the place to go to get to know all the stuff we do is community.rumshq.com. But enough about us. I think it's time to get started, don't you, man?
I think so. And did we do soundboard stuff? Did we do Are we incorporating all of that into the whole thing? Because I'm ready for it.
At least for this very moment, I am incorporating it so we can have a little fun, but it's enough about us. I want to take a moment to introduce some of our very good friends from Octant. Everybody, please join me in welcoming Nico and Mashal. Guys, thank you so much for being here with us. Welcome. How you doing?
Good. I've never actually felt pressure joining a live stream, and I feel like it's so official this time that I'm like, oh shit, like I think I'm feeling a little bit of nerves for the first time on an Octant live stream.
No
you
nerves
feel it now,
at all.
Mr. Krabs?
You are the most honored guests, and we are grateful for all the work you both do. Do you want to take a second and introduce yourselves? Because people will surely know who you are who are tuning in, but for posterity, it'd be nice to hear what brought you here today. Nico, would you go first?
Yeah, absolutely. Super excited to see all the projects today. I'm Nico Gallardo. I'm the ecosystem lead at Octant. You've probably seen me around at live streams. We're going to have a lot more of these during the whole allocation window, so you'll get bored of my face, I'm sure, but it will be fun. So yeah, excited to see you all.
Yeah, grateful to be here with you. And Mashal, tell us a little more about you.
Well, hi everyone. I'm Mashal. I'm the CMO at Octant. I lead marketing, growth, and grants, or whatever else shit needs to get done, essentially behind the scenes. You may have probably also seen me in a lot of live streams, but if you haven't, welcome to the community, welcome to the demo day, and it's going to be an exciting event today ahead of us.
Yeah, we're going to get into all the pitches in just a second, but I want to invite everybody watching anywhere else except X to head over to X and follow the team at Octant.app. And of course, to remember Octant.app, because that website is going to come up to prominence very soon. Mashal, if you have any opening remarks to make, I'd be glad to yield to you. And then I know Nico is going to demonstrate perhaps the most important practical tactical, which is how to allocate. But Mashal, the floor is yours. Tell us a little about what makes today special.
Absolutely. I mean, today we're going to have our first demo day or not first, but our official demo day for Epoch 12, which is our 13th funding round. This is a really big milestone for us at Octant. I mean, it's been such a labor of love to see this user experience come to life that everyone's going to see in just a couple of minutes. And I think what makes me really, really proud is obviously to be part of such an impactful project, but also to be part of the team that just so earnestly cares. Like, there are so many incredible projects that are participating in this funding round. We had 2 slots open for 2 new projects, and it was one of the toughest decisions. And it was so many rounds of reviews to go through and to filter out who would be coming back and joining us as Epoch, and for the 2 new first-timer projects as well that you're going to hear from later in the demo day today. But I do have one favorite, because I equally respect and appreciate all of the work that every single project does here. I mean, so many great builders and founders and teams, and so many reasons for keeping, I'd say, like Ethereum thriving and keeping this open source space that we care so deeply about thriving as well. So excited for this to be rolled out. We have so many cool new user experiences and features too. I will ask for everyone to be patient with us as we take in all the feedback and improve it, but we've really been paying attention to what a lot of our users have been asking us for, and so many big milestones for us with our journey to V2. The biggest one is the ETH contributions, and we're rolling out our version of what that's going to be like, the proper QF. I mean, I think every part of this user experience has been thought through, and we've iterated on so many versions of it to get to this point. So really, really proud of the team that you don't get to see in front of the screens. Our devs and our tech team behind the scenes who've been working round the clock, literally was getting messages right before 15 minutes before the demo day was starting off being like, all right, we've got the new experience good to go. So a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you don't get to see, but super grateful to everyone who has made this a reality. And really excited for the community to show up and for users to allocate. I think this is going to be a really exciting Epoch, and I was really looking forward to it because it's been a while since we've been able to obviously show a lot of the incredible stories that are going to be coming up. So excited for this Epoch to roll out, excited for everyone to experience all of the new changes and the features that we've got coming out, and to hear and to see all the funding go out. I think that's the best part, is to see so many great builders get funded. So I think that's my favorite part.
And Mashal, how much is the matching pool for this round?
We've got 200 ETH in the matching pool.
100 ETH. Whoa, that's incredible.
Whoa.
It's going to make a huge difference for a lot of these projects, and everybody watching has an opportunity to participate, to contribute, and have a say about how those funds should be allocated, right?
Absolutely. I mean, Octant is for everyone, and I think there's no better way than opening that up to everybody. And yeah, 200 ETH is a lot. I think it was worth $350,000 as of yesterday. I don't check the ETH price, but someone asked me what it was in USDC, so I was like, let me check around. Hopefully ETH goes to the moon, and then we'll see that be worth a lot more, but no speculation from my side for today.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. Nico, I know you've got a demo prepared to show people who are staking their GLM tokens how they can allocate if they've never done it before, or they just need a refresher because, like you said, Mashal, this is the first time we've done V2. So take it away, Nico. What have you got to share with us? Oh, Nico, it looks like you're... Oh, no, it's good. There it is. Perfect.
There we go. Yeah. Super excited to introduce the new Octant app. If you go to octant.app, this is the thing that you're gonna see. You will go to participate in the Epoch by clicking here. It will open another tab, so make sure that you go there.
Tap that screen share for me one more time when you open a new tab. There it is.
There we go.
Perfecto.
And yes, so the first thing that you have to do, of course, is connect your wallet. I'm using Rabi in this case. Just the usual stuff, connect wallet, and then you will see the Epoch 12 available for you to participate. If you scroll down, you will see all the participating projects that you can add to your ballot. Something important here is this window that popped up here is telling me budget set for your accrued rewards. What does that mean? For the first time ever in any in the Octant history, you will be able to do direct donations with ETH. So you will be able to choose between using your accrued rewards from GLM staking or using direct ETH donations. Both mechanisms are slightly different to each other. The accrued rewards is log GLM, accrue ETH rewards, use that ETH to vote. And the direct donations, in order to sort of equalize with the GLM locking for a longer time, you will allocate your ETH budget. Half of it is going to go to buy GLM and burn it so that you are enabled to vote. So you will have voting power that is equivalent to that. And I'll keep it brief because the experience is super smooth. I'm just going to pick the 3 top projects that appear randomly here. go to the review ballot button here on top. Here I will be able to pick from. It shows me that it's from the accrued rewards, the money that I'm donating. That's my total contribution. Here with the sliders, I can move around how much I allocate. This is not going to be my final allocation, by the way. It's just to showcase in case anyone was wondering. And the final step is to review and sign. To do that, just make sure that you are not contributing more than you wanted, especially if you're doing direct donations. We will showcase the direct donations after, and after you simulate the transaction here, you will be able to make sure that everything is good and sign the official transaction to cast your votes. So I'm signing right now. You probably cannot see it on the screen, but my wallet popped up and asked me to sign. And as you can see, the first signature is done, and then you will have to do second signature to cast the vote. And my vote is in, as you can see here. It shows me the projects that I have funded. It shows me how many people have voted already, 19 people. That's crazy for the first day already. And you can share it on X or on Farcaster. I'll leave it there. We're going to dive deeper into more features as we go on, but I know our projects are excited and ready to present. So excited to hear you all.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Nico, for sharing. And I think that's plenty of ado. Please, everybody, join me in welcoming our first product to pitch to the stage, Solidity, known and loved by many in our community. Please welcome Jacob. Jacob, thank you so much for making time to join us. Welcome to Demo Day.
Hello. Thank you. Where's my sound effect?
You need a sound effect indeed.
Perfect.
We're glad to have you here.
Great.
All
Thank
the
you.
people are happy to see you. And if you're ready for me to, I will put your presentation on screen and I will start your time. I'll let you know in the Telegram chat when you have a couple minutes left, but good luck. And
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't
ready.
wait to hear from you.
Oh, good. All right. Thank you. And hi, everyone. I'm Jacob. I'm the Solidity DevRel, and also I'm contributing to Argo Collective. And I will talk a little bit more about what that is in this presentation as well. But main focus on the presentation will be the current, like the most recent compiler progress. And I'll also give a little taste of what's to come next in the shape of core Solidity. So the current state is that we're currently at version 08.35, which was released in April. And as I mentioned, the Solidity language is now maintained by the Argo Collective, which is an independent non-profit organization that spun out of the Ethereum Foundation a year ago, which is also why we are naturally looking for funding so that we can continue developing the language. The release itself introduces the first comp time built-in the language, and there will be more of those coming in the future. We also had an experimental flag introduced where we have all experimental features under now. And the biggest one of those currently is probably SSA CFG, as we call it, which is going to ultimately fix stack to deep errors and speed up the compilation time. And yeah, as I said, it also allows us to move faster with the things that are in experimental until they are ready for production. So there's the CFG backend that I talked about. Is, for those who don't know, like the backend is basically the part of that turns the Solidity code or into EVM bytecode. So this is what we're now rebuilding to fix some of the bigger pain points that people have for the language in general, where the biggest one is stack to deep. And it has been for a while, and that's also what our recent developer survey showed. And this SSACFG will also like it will fix that, but it will also speed up compilation times, which is also something that people like. It is a general known pain point. And yeah, this is already now under the experimental flag, and we are currently stabilizing it, and we also currently on develop have the actual fixes but the features that fixes the stack to deep errors, and we hope that they will go into one of the next releases. And furthermore, as I said, I'm also going to talk a little bit about core Solidity, and core Solidity is kind of like the next iteration of what we believe a smart contract language should look like. But all the work we're currently doing on the back end for Solidity will carry over to core Solidity as well. And here is like a quick graph of the speed ups in compilation time that we have seen for the Solidity compiler over the last couple of years. So we're up at 4.5 times faster on some of the big projects, which I think is indeed a pretty good result. And now to core Solidity. As mentioned, it's the next version of Solidity, but with the same backend. Some of the things that it does differently is it has like pattern matching, so it basically becomes difficult or invalid, like impossible to have invalid states because the pattern match makes sure that you cover all cases basically. We have generics and traits that replace inheritance, so inheritance will not really be part of core Solidity. There will be a standard library, which means that we can kind of separate the language and the compiler, which is not the case currently. So I think this one is one of the biggest upgrades that we will have in core Solidity compared to Classic. And as I mentioned before, we also have comp time evaluation. So I think that was that's my 1 minute left. Great. Here is just a quick overview of how what I talked about with the pattern matching, but I'll skip that one and just give a quick update of the current state of things. So there is a prototype. You can write contracts in core Solidity and they compile. I don't recommend deploying anything there. We have the beacon chain deposit contract ported over and a multi-sig implementation. We also have external contributor who did Uniswap v2 and gave a lot of nice feedback. Yeah, we don't expect production this year, but hopefully an alpha release. That's all from me.
Excellent.
And yeah, if you have any questions, please or feedback, share it in our forum.
Can you say the link out loud for people who might be listening in the future and can't see?
Yeah, forum.soliditylang.org.
Okay, excellent.
And
where can
it's one word without a dash between Solidity and Lang.
Perfect. And of course, all your links will be at octant.app. Jacob, thank you very much for making time to share with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Okay, up next, keeping right along, we have got the Blue Energy Reef team coming in. And just because we have so many people backstage, everybody, if you're here for something, let us know in the chat so that we don't accidentally bring the wrong person up. Nico, can you do the honors of bringing them up to the stage? And if there's a presentation, I will look for it. In the meantime, if you're listening and you have comments, they help. We appreciate the encouragement, the support, everybody watching on Twitter who's already contributed. This is amazing. I love reading everybody's reactions live. Please do repost the stream. It helps more eyeballs get to these amazing projects. And thank you. Thank you very much. Delphine, welcome. Whenever you're ready, your time will begin.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. I'm going to try to share my screen. Does it work?
Yep.
Yay.
There you go.
Cool. Hi, everyone. I'm Delphine from the Gili Eco Trust. I'm originally from France, but I've been on a small tropical island called Gili in Indonesia for the last 22 years. And I work for the Gili Eco Trust, which is a local NGO fighting for the environment, the animals, and the local communities of Gili and neighbor island Lombok. we went through Epoch 7 and Epoch 10 for the Blue Energy Reef, restoring coral reef using the BioRock technology with blue renewable energy. And today is Octant for everyone, and Epoch 12 is for waste solution. So the island I live on is visited by millions of tourists every year, and we have a waste crisis. And the Gili Trust started to help FMPL, which is the local association dealing with waste management, in 2007. We were doing horse clinic, and we found out that the horses collecting the rubbish were in that state. Maybe you're wondering why horses, but the island doesn't have any motorcycle, but now we have only for rubbish. So trucks and motorbikes and carts with petrol are working now only for rubbish. So that's how we started to work with FMPL, and that's when we start implementing waste solution. But it's always been kind of a struggle, and but we never give up, and that's our strength. So in 2010, we organized a big fundraising where we could get 3,000 bins and educational event for all the local communities and the stakeholders on the island. And we started implementing segregating waste. But the dump was still growing. So it's an open landfill, and with a lot of issue, if you can imagine, fires and animal and things like this. So a lot of fires on the dump were created because of the glass. So we're starting finding solution for the glass waste. It's also a party island, so you can't imagine how many bottles we get every day, about 10,000. So we upcycle all the bottles into building materials, into bricks to build your house, with swimming pool or anything like this, or doing nice walls with design, but also art workshop where we're doing glassware and jewelry from the glass bottle that people drunk. And in 2018, there was a big investment on the island from the national government for waste management and sorting place, which was built in 2018. Unfortunately, we then got hit by a big earthquake, and so it stopped. So it took longer than planned. But in the end, by 2020, we finally got a big sorting warehouse with lots of machineries. So that looks like at the beginning where we had everything in place. But then COVID hit and Indonesia was totally closed. So no tourist. In a way, it was good with no rubbish. But we didn't use the place for almost 2 years. Then we started to use the place, but the landfill was still the main place where all the rubbish was going, and still a lot of fires happened on the landfill and threatening not only our sorting center, but the local communities or the businesses next to it. So it's overloaded. It's still quite big, and the pollution increase, and people start calling Gili the rubbish island. So not very good. Now we're jumping into 2025, where we implemented a new system based on source separation. So the organic waste become compost, recycled materials are sorted, packed and transported to recycling facilities in Lombok. The glass, as usual, is recycled and upcycled and reused, and only residual waste remains for final treatment. So now what we're asking through Epoch 12, it's that you help us build Indonesia leading island waste solution. We have the people, we have the experience, more than 25 years. We have the community support. But what we need is the instructor to scale And with Octant support, we can expand from 39 to more than 80 green job, strengthen sorting and composting cooperation, improving recycling, glass upcycling, increasing transport capacity, purchase technology, machinery, and build a waste management system that can become a model for islands across Indonesia and beyond. This is not...
Delphine, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but your time is up for now. We have to keep moving to showcase some of the other great projects, but I want to invite you to share where people could see the rest of this presentation or where they can connect with you to learn more about this awesome endeavor.
They can contact me by email. I think that will be the best, or I can share the presentation on X as well.
What's your email?
Thank you very much. GiliEcotrust@gmail.com.
GiliEcotrust@gmail.com. Thank you so much, Delphine, and congratulations for being a part of this Epoch. We will see you soon. Excellent. We're going to keep things right going with Roscoe from Revoke.cash. Welcome to Demo Day. Have you got a presentation for us to put on the screen?
No, I'm just going to show the website. I think that should be good, right? I can present.
No problem. Your time.
All right. 1 sec. Here we go. All right. Hey, guys. I'm Roscoe, the founder of Revoke.cash, which is the platform to manage your token approvals. I started Revoke back in 2019 when a lot of DeFi was still in its beginning phases. So you had some early versions of Uniswap, and you had MakerDAO and some early DeFi applications, but it was really all just beginning. But even then, one thing that all these apps had in common is that they all require you to give access to some of your tokens. Like if you're swapping tokens on Uniswap, you have to give access to your USDC or your wrapped ETH or what kind of token you are swapping. Or if you're, let's say you're selling NFTs on OpenSea, then you have to give access to your NFTs. So if you're selling a Bored Ape, you have to give access to your Bored Apes. If you're selling your Pudgy Penguins, you have to give access to your Pudgy Penguins. So that is sort of the origin of Revoke.cash, and it kind of started as a side project back in 2019, as a lot of projects did, because the industry was small. You're doing just a lot of things, but then as crypto grew, it kind of grew out to really like a staple in crypto security. So nowadays, now we're almost 7 years later, and these token approvals, like this access that you have to give, is still very prevalent in the industry. So you still have to give that access if you want to swap tokens, if you want to sell NFTs, if you want to deposit something into DeFi. And that's fine, right? That's all right. That's the way it works. But it's also something to be mindful of, because if you're giving this access to these smart contracts, especially now with AI tools getting better, we've seen a lot of exploits, a lot of smart contracts getting hacked. So now it's even more important than ever to make sure that you're not keeping that access forever. So that's where Revoke.cash comes in. So this is the website. Pretty basic. What you can do, I have my wallet connected already, but let's say you get to the website, you can enter your ENS, or you can connect your wallet directly. But even if you don't want to connect it yet, you can just enter your ENS or your address, and it shows you everyone that has access to your tokens. So for example, I've recently swapped some USDT. So there's still that permit to approval, or there's some approvals to OpenSea from when I was selling NFTs. But as you can see, a lot of these are from years ago. And I'm always testing Revoke, so I kind of want to have these approvals. But if you're just a normal user, this is kind of unacceptable, to be honest, because all of these approvals have been there for years. and there's really no reason for you to keep those around, because they're kind of just incidents waiting to happen. So now I've connected my wallet. That means that, let me see, I can now revoke these approvals, and I can even revoke multiple at the same time. So let me do that. If you do, you will pay a small fee to us, only if you're batch revoking. Otherwise, everything is completely free. Let me see. Here we go. So yeah, this year we've been working a lot on the upcoming Revoke Premium, which is going to be a much better experience, a fully integrated multi-chain experience, better risk indicators, better performance, and some really cool features. And that's coming very, very soon. So yeah, I think that's stay tuned for that. And yeah, looking forward to show you what's coming soon.
Awesome. We appreciate the demonstration, and the only thought in my head is, with a lineup starting like this, I'm getting preemptively worried about choosing when it comes time to vote, because I'm a huge fan of everything that we've heard from so far. So Roscoe, thank you so much for giving us some of your time. And if you could just one more time share how people can follow along and learn more from you guys and from Revoke.
Yeah, so the URL is Revoke.cash. Use it, bookmark it. We're on X at Revoke.cash. And yeah, follow us. See, yeah, just mostly make sure to use the app.
Excellent.
Thank you for your work, Roscoe. We appreciate you. And we appreciate all of you for the likes, the shares. Let's keep it going, shall we? We are now welcoming to the stage from the Ethereum attestation service, Bryce. I'm going to give him a round of canned applause and get him up here. Thank you for making time, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to throw your presentation on the screen, and we will get out of your way, and your time will begin.
Sounds good. Thanks everyone for hosting this Epoch. It's been a while to see some of these faces, so it's great to catch up on some of the older projects as well. Revoke.cash has been one that I've been using for a while, so it's great to see everyone continuing to build. So I'm Bryce. I'm one of the founding contributors of attest.org, also known as Ethereum Attestation Service. It's an open source primitive for attesting to verifiable data. So for today, I thought it would be fun just to share some of the progress we've been making, and then show the new CLI that we built for agents. But we recently just updated our website, so that's what we're looking at here. Check it out. We'd love to hear your feedback on it. We're continuing to add to it. And really the theme that we're focused on right now is just how do builders build faster using this primitive? And so we're trying to simplify a lot of the language that we're using. We are leaning obviously Ethereum heavy, but we want to increase the pie quite a bit. And we want to be able to be accessible by developers that are looking at blockchain again as a potential solution. So our docs need to kind of reflect that to make it super accessible and easy for non-crypto native people. Attestations are super simple. It's just a structured piece of data that gets a signature cryptographically. So this is just an example, but with a schema for AI eval results, you could create a structure that has something like the model, the result amounts, the data set hash, and then who the attestation was signed by, and then if it was attested about something else or someone else, and then it gets signed. You can make attestations on-chain or off-chain. There's been close to 10 million that have been made over the years by 450,000 different attesters. And we're really excited to release some new tooling. You can kind of get a flavor of what we've built down here, but we have the CLI, there's an indexer that's open source you can use, the SDK, GraphQL API, transitive trust if you're building reputation systems, ZK workflows and patterns on how to make attestations more private. But today I just want to share the CLI. So I'm going to move over to it in our GitHub. But the CLI is super easy. It's meant to be agent native. So it's not, we don't have any like fancy terminal designs or anything, but The CLI is really great if you're using agents and you want your agents to be able to attest to a piece of data or allow other agents to rely on data that is being attested to. This is a great way to do it. And there hasn't been an easier time to be able to make attestations with the new coding primitives. All right, so let's go over. I have Cloud Code up here. I'm just gonna say make an attestation, and this is just a demo library, but let's do an off-chain, make an off-chain attestation on base and make it, or let's do make a builder quote giving us some good intel for the day. And then that's pretty much it. Use make a statement schema. Pretty natural language. You can, obviously, as agents are working more autonomously, they can just use the CLI directly, register their own schemas. So right now, this is just triggering, let's see what it's doing. So we have a burner identity that gets spun up in this demo. So it's just like generating its own key really quick. I'm not sure if you can read the text. Looks kind of small. So it just spun up a wallet so it can sign the attestation. Off-chain attestations are pretty dope because it's just a cryptographic signature. It's just an EIP 712 type signature. So just made it. So what's the URL? Let's get the URL for it, and I can pull it up on the scanner. So it made the attestation. Not sure what it said. It said ship the smallest thing that proves the riskiest assumption. Today's mode is disruption, not code. All right, good advice. But you can imagine you can start attesting to random or reputation systems, verifiable data that the agent's producing, eval results, receipts, lots of stuff. All right, here is the really big URL. Let's post it in, and then here we go. So here's the off-chain attestation. It just decoded it in the browser and shows what was attested to. From the wallet that was generated. Now this can be shared, between agents, etc. So you can make attestations on-chain, off-chain, ZK-based. Would love to hear what you guys are building, and if you're leaning into agent-native workflows, reach out.
Thank you so much, Bryce. We really appreciate it. Tell everybody one more time where they can reach out to you and where you'd like them to follow along.
Follow us on X, reach out, share what you're building. And
what's the X handle, Bryce?
EAS_ETH.
Great. Thank you so much, and good luck this epoch. Okay, please welcome now to the stage from the Green Pill Dev Guild, Afolabi. Afolabi, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you perfect. We got your presentation on the screen, and your time begins now. Good luck.
Cool. Thank you, guys. I want to say shout out to Bryce. We actually build on top of EAS for a few of our key protocols. So, yeah, I really love all the work they're doing. So, yeah, I'm Afolabi. I'm the steward of the Green Pill Dev Guild. And today I'm going to be talking about how we're abstracting Ethereum through trust, relationships, culture, and ownership. So Ethereum is infrastructure like the internet. That's an analogy we love to draw. And you could say Ethereum is kind of in its maybe past its dial-up stage, but one of the things with Ethereum right now is that it's still very present in people's use of it, and kind of similar to the internet. When you're looking to dial up, you're listening to those sounds and waiting for that right sequence to be connected and get on the internet. What grew the internet wasn't protocols, it was people, right? People doing e-commerce, building social networks, joining forums, messaging, file sharing. All these things are really what drove the internet, because it enabled people to connect in a way they never could before. So today we're not going to focus too much on protocols. I will, of course, I love Ethereum. I love, the protocols we built upon. So I will mention them, but really want to tell the story of how we're starting to abstract the tools we're building for the communities that need these regenerative tools and Ethereum. So what is the problem that we're facing? Impact lives in silo. Funding lives far away. So typically the proof of real work lives in somebody else's database, which is hard to see or trust. Capital struggles to reach growing economies like Nigeria, high fees, slow rails. And when it comes to, and when it does arrive, it rarely flows transparently. which raises risk and deters investment. So a couple of things we're building is first the public staking protocol. It's centered around providing communities with their own infrastructure that they could own and participate in Ethereum staking, building off of the great work that Obel's done in enabling people to run squads with multiple people. So not all the burden falls on one person. DappNode providing an accessible OS that's nice and friendly for people to get set up with staking. And then Lido providing the ETH bonds to earn staking rewards. And then we look to funnel that yield, the staking rewards, into community endowments, which are just an abstraction for Octant vaults. And you can see my node from Obel that I got a couple of years ago. And then we have Green Goods. Green Goods is centered around creating impact reporting anyone can use. It's accessible via PWA, so there's no app store. You don't have to download it through an app store. You could just go right through the browser. And it makes real regenerative work more verifiable by using Ethereum attestations and funded ready proof and enabling, we tie that then to local endowments, which are built off of Octant Vault. So it provides both an accessible way for people to report impact and then also enables low risk support and investment in those communities and projects. And we currently support 4 domains, which are agroforestry, waste, solar, and education. And we have gardens across 5 continents that are currently piloting and getting onboarded from Brazil, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, Côte d'Ivoire, London, Ontario, Canada, Koh Phangan, Taiwan, and I hope I'm not missing anybody. Hopefully I got everybody in that. Oh, Barcelona and Sicilia. Sicilia. So I'm going to be telling a story about Tech and Sun in Nigeria, a project that I'm a part of, where we're building. We'll get to that in a bit. And Omo Yoruba in California, which is a cultural organization centered around the Yoruba diaspora and helping to connect and keep roots back to the motherland. And Green Goods is a bridge between these two that is enabling this flywheel that I'm going to get into. So a little bit about Tech and Sun. Tech and Sun is centered around providing solar infrastructure, Starlink internet, and Ethereum staking infra for students at local Nigerian universities. We have a hub live in Accra, Nigeria, and really the goal of Tech and Sun is to provide that safe space for builders, the young minds in Nigeria to have a space where they could grow, collaborate, and develop regenerative initiatives for their community. And then there's Omo Yoruba, which is something I've been a part of since I've been a kid, which is centered around Yoruba heritage and language, cultural programming, and creating a bridge, a diaspora bridge to back home and having us more roots there. And am I already on time?
I'm so sorry, Alo, but we're going to have to expand the stories a little later on. I want to give you your flowers and say the storytelling is incredible. And I do want you to give people the opportunity to hear more about it. So please tell us where they can see this presentation or get in touch with you to support.
Yeah. So let me, we're running a marathon. This Epoch is our water station. So I want to say shout out to Octant. Shout out to all the other projects that are in this round with us. You could find us at greengoods.app if you want to check out what we're building, on Paragraph at Greenpill Dev Guild, and on Twitter at Greenpill Devs. Man, I really did not know I was going too slow.
It's quick, but you did an excellent job. We appreciate you and all the work you're doing. I look forward to hearing more about your story. Thank you very much, Afolabi. And thank you, everybody, again, for being here. What about that? We're 5 presentations down. This is great, isn't it, guys?
Flying.
Amazing.
The
Love
impact
to hear
is
this project always.
The impact is incredible. A lot of tools that I have used or that if I haven't, I am looking forward to using. So let us know how you're feeling in the comments. And I teased it earlier, but this is Octant's new attempt at implementing true, proper quadratic funding. And you may be asking yourself in the audience, WTF is QF? Or if you're not, I want to encourage you to ask that question because it's one of the most important fundraising innovations that we've ever seen. But last week, And in the weeks leading up to this epoch, we've been having this conversation with folks. And in fact, I have a little clip prepared just to tease you with what quadratic funding is. I'm going to put Alex on the spot. On our show, I asked him and all of our audiences, can you tell us what quadratic funding is? And here we go. This is what they had to say.
Evan, I think we might need to crank up the audio there.
You got it.
It's very faint.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Based on my experience, this is one of those StreamYard ghouls in the machine that's doing that thing that it does where randomly it just decides not to give you the audio with the thing you're sharing.
Then here's what I'll tell you. Alex gives an incredible explanation for the common man about what quadratic funding is.
Yeah, the audio you missed is that I crushed it, missed nothing.
Absolutely crushed it, but the details he did miss are going to be available for you at qf.octant.app. The link is on the screen. We're gonna be amplifying this content going forward so that you can explain why this matters to people who have yet to join us. We'll be doing more overviews of the quadratic funding calculator they've built, some of the other cool features there, a little later in the show. But for now, we've got more Epoch participants to get to. You guys ready for this?
Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
Excellent. Then I'm very, very pleased to say hi again to our friend Drew from Crypto Altruist. He is a fellow member of Epoch 9. Drew, it's great to see you again, man. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see you guys again. It's always a pleasure connecting with you, and I'm so excited to have the chance to share our work. So I guess I'll jump right in.
Jump right in, man.
Tight clock. So I'm just going to share a screen here. If I can find the right one. Sure, slides in here. Uh-oh, now I'm having trouble finding the Canva one. So we'll just share a whole screen here and hope that it works. Okay, here we go. Cool, awesome. Everyone can see that, hopefully. Great. I'm sure someone will let me know if they can't see it.
No problem, yeah, we can see it.
Perfect, awesome. Thank you so much for inviting me, everyone. So Epoch 12, Octant is for everyone. And the theme of kind of the presentation and our approach for Epoch 12 is that Ethereum is for everyone. And we're Crypto Altruists. So I'll give you a little bit more info on us as we go, but I want to start by kind of laying some context as to the problem that we're trying to solve. Gotta click. There we go. So Ethereum is for everyone in theory, but what I'm noticing, and Crypto Altruist is noticing from our work with nonprofits, for those in the impact sector, is that the impact economy is still very much locked out. In the impact economy, what I mean by that is NGOs, grassroots organizations, mutual aid groups, nonprofits, those that are really looking to see how they can use this technology to scale their impact and to have more an impact on the communities they work in. So there's no trusted door in. The impact is often drowned out by the speculation and scams. And it's built for coders a lot of the time and not so much for change makers. And so a lot of these folks are kind of sitting on the outside, wondering what's going on in there. A lot are very much interested in exploring it. A lot of them also are kind of hesitant because they hear only the negative from the media that's out there. And so, the thing about the impact economy and why it's so important and why it's my focus as well is that it's more than just feel-good stories. It's something that's truly global. It's hundreds of millions of people reached each year, whether it be through essential services, through humanitarian aid, whatever that is, trillions in capital flow annually. And one thing that's really special about the impact economy too is that it has an incredibly diverse talent and experience working in the most challenging environments in the world with limited resources. So it requires innovation and thinking of things differently, which is why I see such a natural connection to the Web3 space. And so our goal is to really bring these people into Web3, into Ethereum, and help them leverage this technology to grow their impact. And so how we do this. So our podcast and content library is our foundation. We have about 600 pieces of content, including podcasts with a number of series, one focused on Octant, one focused on Glow Dollar, one focused on the Optimism ecosystem. So lots of different stuff that we're looking at there. That's kind of the foundation. The Ethereum for Good Hub is our welcome, if you will. And it's a dedicated space bringing our best Ethereum content together with everything from video explainers to interactive tools to just really good content, podcasts, just deep discussions with builders in the community. And the guided tour is our Web3 Impact Toolkit, which includes everything from Explain It Like I'm 5 videos on the basics of Ethereum and Web3, more detailed course modules on use cases like impact verification and crypto philanthropy and decentralized governance, policy hub for nonprofits interested in building out policies to safely engage in the space, and a really growing resource library. And this is all free and open access as well, because it's been funded by folks like Octant and Gitcoin over the years. And it's been so we're really working our best to try and make sure that it's open to everyone. And so our impact so far, so as I mentioned, we have a lot of podcasts and articles that we've put out. We've reached hundreds of thousands across many countries around the world. We also do a lot of hands-on support for nonprofits and impact builders. This includes working for groups in Eastern Europe and Central Asia on innovations for public health, or working with nonprofits in Africa, doing some workshops on how they can engage in crypto philanthropy. So we do a lot of that hands-on stuff as well. And we've spotlighted so many great builders, everyone from Octant, Gitcoin, Protocol Guild, Karma, Cello, Green Pill Dev Guild, who we've had on here as well. So lots of great folks that we've spotlighted and helped kind of show the positive side of Ethereum as a way to bring these people into the space. So that's a little bit about kind of our impact so far. And what we're really looking to do with Epoch 12 is really continue to grow our Ethereum for Good hub. This includes more educational guides, content, and a specific series of courses on navigating Ethereum as an impact builder. So the basics, what you need to know, how to get started. More tailored support for builders. We want to launch a guided cohort of nonprofits and impact builders into the Web3 Toolkit, where we provide hands-on mentorship and walk them through the process, provide some incentives, funding at the end to get started. We're also looking to launch a new AI chatbot in our toolkit, as well as more resources. And we really want to expand the community and outreach side of things as well, with more live sessions and community spaces to really try to bring more folks in and reach new audiences that aren't involved in the typical Web3 spaces online. And lastly, strengthen the Octant story. More deep dives into the Octant ecosystem. And we do have an Octant hub, which I'll share the link to a bit later, where we keep all this. So I think I'm at the end of my time. So I'll say thank you so much. And when Ethereum wins, everyone does. And here's where you can learn a bit more about us and get in touch. Our Ethereum hub and Octant ecosystem hubs can be found here, as well as some ways to get in touch. And that's my own timer that I set going off. So thank you so much for your time.
Man, nailed it.
Crushed it. Anticipated the question and the transition and everything. I have to say, I feel the pain. Evan and I were in this seat at one point, and man, that 5 minutes, it really does fly when you're sitting in the hot seat. So I appreciate the time, Drew. It was great to see you again, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate y'all. Take care.
Okay, coming to the stage next, please, everybody, help us to welcome Austin from Aestus. Austin, welcome to Demo Day.
Hi.
Have you got a presentation here that we can throw up on the screen?
Yes. All right. Share screen.
And a reminder to everybody that if you're just tuning in, you can scroll backwards in time using the features on your phone or computer. Maybe you're like C-Vish, who says, still learning this social media stuff, but don't worry. All these presentations will be preserved forever. And Nico, are they going to be posted later to YouTube, or what's the best way to find it retroactively if people want to tune into the pitches they missed?
Yeah, we're going to upload it to YouTube later on, but if it takes us a little bit longer, you can still watch the same link as the broadcast on X and scroll to the back and watch it from the beginning.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And Austin, I have got your presentation up. Your time, my friend, begins now. Good luck.
All right. Thank you. So I'm Austin with the Aestus Mev Boost Relay. I'm going to assume a little bit of background knowledge for the sake of time, but as a reminder, relays are trusted entities in Ethereum proof of stake that auction off block space that is owned by a block proposer, a validator, to the highest paying builder. And builders extract value from Ethereum transactions by ordering them, and this is known as MEV or MEV. We started the relay because nearly all of Ethereum block production flows through a small number of relays, and we believe it's important that relays act as public goods and establish trust. So our guiding philosophy is that we see the Aestus relay as MEV infrastructure, which is offered to the community as a public good, free from any commercial interest and aligned to the principles of credible neutrality, which we define as censorship resistant, non-judgmental, unbiased, and open source. So we've supported builders large and small with submissions from a large number of them. The vast majority of proposers connect to us as well. And we've been live since shortly after the merge and have been delivering blocks on the pace of over 30,000 per month. So what's new for us? The big one is enshrine proposer-builder separation, which is scheduled for inclusion in Glamsterdam this year and currently under active development on DevNets. The main thing is that this enables direct proposer-builder connections, so relays will no longer be mandatory as a middleman. But relays will still very likely be relevant in shifted roles, like lowering the barrier to entry for proposers and builders, and ensuring access to a fair marketplace for high-quality blocks. Most of our efforts today are focused on preparing for what relays after EPBS might look like. So post-EPBS, one thing is that relays can become global networking experts so that smaller builders don't have to be. And we can lower that barrier to entry, make sure that the builder market stays diverse. To that extent, we've been working on globalizing our relay operations. We have a North American auction instance deployed, which is coupled with our current London instance. And we have a set of edge instances which receive bids pushed out from core instances as fast as possible. And so there's some current work underway to determine the optimal global distribution of instances. Right now, this is pretty minimal. This is deployed live, but we hope to expand it further once we figure out the right balance to strike. Proposer commitments and pre-confirmations have fallen out of the spotlight a bit, but this is another area we've been continuing to work in the background to find ways to solve the challenges in the space and help make sure the proposers can properly express their preferences over what happens in their blocks. Another long-term focus for us is helping build a robust and healthy relay ecosystem. In the last 30 days, thousands of ETH worth of MEV have been delivered to proposers through relays. And these are rough estimates, but searchers and builders are getting their cut of block value as well. And if you've seen these demo day talks before, you'll recall there's a persistent ongoing problem here, which is that relays aren't consistently on the list. So relay incentivization is a big deal, and there are a lot of different attempts to figure out how to do this. Relays can try for grants. Thank you all. But these funds can sometimes be fickle. Some competitive relays have been finding ways to capture value based on their competitive edge, but this might have negative effects on network health and relay centralization. So for a long time, the holy grail has been some form of sustainable value capture that encourages relays to cooperate rather than force the situation. So this is an example of one of the possible directions relays could develop. There's been a lot of work here that we've been remaining involved in. So a sort of multi-party block construction being a current research direction where relay-like operators can combine blocks from multiple builders. So relays remain relevant post-EPBS. And there's an option for cooperation between operators there that can lead to more sustainable operation. And so that should be all I have for you. But thank you very much, as always, and very fun to see all the projects that are sharing today.
Thank you so much, Austin. We really appreciate it. Tell us one more time where people can find you and Aestus.
Yep. I suppose we're at Aestus.live. We have a Twitter. It's not super active, but
it technically
we spend
exists.
a lot of time building, I suppose.
Excellent. Okay, thank you. We'll see you next time. Good luck in the Epoch.
Thank you.
Hey, Nico, I saw your announcement. Almost 500 live stream views. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the shares and the reposts. They really do help get the stream out there. So especially if you're finding value here, it's the easiest and freest way to support the stream and the show.
That's right. That's right. Jerry in the comments said trust is the only value layer. I also wanted to highlight Evers Man, who said, just like Octant, Ethereum is for everyone. And I'm inclined to say that is indeed.
Correct.
Up next, we have got DappNode. Lansky, welcome to Demo Day. Thank you so much for making time to be here. Do you have a presentation that we can pop on screen for you?
I do. Well, I'm going to share screen, actually.
Okay, no problem. You share it, and we'll make sure that it's able to come on up. And then once you get it, your time will begin. Here
Boom, you should have it.
Comes. Okay, good luck. We'll see you in a minute.
Thank you. Okay, let's go. Thank you, Octant, again for having us into this round. So what is DappNode? Some of you might already know, but DappNode is a technological self-sovereignty project. And this means that we believe that tech should be able to be run by anyone without middlemen. And in the beginning, Web3 was supposed to be this thing. We were supposed to have access to nodes and connect directly to the network, to have validators and connect directly to the network, participate in building and protecting those networks ourselves in a decentralized way. And RPCs were not really a thing. People were running their own RPCs, right? And I believe this is still the way that it should be. But the reality is that most people access RPC services through their wallet and an RPC provider, and even the validators through the staking services like Lido or like their own exchanges, centralized exchanges, or maybe Stakewise. But we decided that people should have the capability to do it by themselves. So we created DappNode as a technological self-sovereignty platform. So basically what it is, technological self-sovereignty, it's something that allows you to just, with a couple of clicks, deploy a validator. You just have to, let me see if it'll load. You just have to click on a few clicks, and without knowing too much about how it works, about the what the underlying technology or the Docker packages that you're running afterwards, you should be able to just run a validator. For some reason, it's taking a while to load, but you can see. Oh, here we are. You can see that I'm running Nethermind, I'm running Lighthouse, I'm running my key stores here, and I'm running my MEV Boost relays, including Aestus. Hey there. And then if I wanted to change something, I would click on Apply Changes, and that's it. That you don't need to know much in order to run your own Ethereum validators. We have validators also for Gnosis, for Luxo, for Starknet, for Optimism as well. But actually, Optimism is not necessarily a validator. And we also have Aztec, and we also have Near staking. So you can be the owner and the block producer for those, or block proposer in some of these chains. Okay, so DappNode is free and open source software. You can install it in any machine that you want. And you can also, if you prefer to have an easier path, you can also buy a DappNode from us, one of these machines, and these machines will allow you to stake at home, plug and play, no complication, and that's pretty much it. I'm actually very excited to also bring to you the way that we have now to make everything even easier. So again, we believe that technology should be accessible to everybody, and right now with AI, it's more important than ever to be able to just type it and everything works. So hey, let's say that I have a problem with my Wi-Fi. I can only connect via Telescale, not Wi-Fi. What's going on? And this AI should be able to check what's going on my DappNode. It has context on my DappNode, and it would be able to figure out what's going on in my DappNode and tell me the solution. And the same thing would it do if I told him to basically set up my validator, add new keys, remove relays, add relays, etc., etc. We'll see it in a minute. All of this is powered by a private end-to-end API inference that we are also providing, because Here we go. We believe that privacy is a critical value. So if you are using any API inferences like Anthropic or OpenAI and are worried about your data, you can actually go to nexus.dappnode.com and you have verifiable, cryptographically verifiable private inference that you can use and plug it into your agent, etc., etc. Speaking of agents, apart from this small agent that has context on the DappNode itself, you can also install. It's going a little bit slow today. It might be the sharing the video. But you can also install OpenClaw and Hermes on DappNode, so you can turn your DappNode into your own agent. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. If people want to see this in further detail or find out more about you, where do they go?
They can go to DappNode.com, and if they want to learn more about private inference, nexus.dappnode.com. And we are on Twitter at @DappNode as well.
Well, thank you for your work. Good luck in the Epoch.
Thank you very much.
All right, everybody, please join us in welcoming from Blue Filter, our friend Sela. Sela, welcome to Demo Day. Thanks so much for being here with us. It looks like you might not have your microphone selected. So do me a favor. You're not muted here. Click that little settings button that appears. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey.
Again.
Great. Thank you so much. Do you have a presentation to share?
Yes.
Okay. Pull it up and we will bring it to the screen and then your time will begin. Oh, I hear the beautiful bird song there. It sounds lovely.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Now we can. Good luck. Your time begins.
Yeah. 4 minutes, yes?
5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay. Yep. Hello, everyone. I'm Salah Assadi, Blue Filter founder and owner. Everyone talks about AI, about technology, but what about water? Do you think AI will purify water from pollutants? As we can see on the global map indicated with red color, this is the size of pollution. This is not red color only. This represents 1 million of lives at risk, 2 billion people affected by polluted water, contaminated with difficult contaminants, nitrate and chloride. Contaminated water ruins crops, poisons food, kills lives. According to the international standards levels, the concentration of pollutants like nitrate and chloride, it must be not more than 1,000 milligram per liter, but now it's over 1,000 milligram per liter. This is why we are here. Blue Filter, a new technology to purify water from pollutants without any need to electricity or chemical additives. It's available, easy to install, provide large quantity of water for drinking, as well large quantity of water for irrigation. Blue Filter consists of 3 basins. First basin or tank collect polluted water. Second tank, intermediate stage to treat water. Third tank to remove all contaminants. All the system connected with mobile app to help people to follow up treatment process. The system implemented and tested with 9,000 farmers. We provided them with large quantity of water. For irrigation, we increased the productivity of crops. We provided training and consultation more than 30,000 beneficiaries, training and workshops. We have a proof of concept from international organization, as will we register this technology as a patent now in United States. Blue Filter competitive analysis. We have affordable price, producing large quantity water, free chemicals, free electricity, water recovery before the quantity before and after treatment remains the same. There is no any losses. Zero waste, all products recyclable. About our impact, we improved community livelihood and resilience, improved food security and stability, reduced waterborne disease. We provided safe access to drinking water as well for irrigation. Now we honorable to get this international membership with CTCN, Climate Technology Center and Network, and this will help us to expand our products and technology for all vulnerable communities to send our products there. Our markets now, we're working with farmers, commercial farms, irrigation suppliers, distributor, government, and water programs. About our market size, we working to secure $5 billion from our technology which is different from others. About revenue stream, we will still getting our revenues from filtration system rental to international organization, paired services, filter reactivation, app subscription. And this is our partners and the main partners, Octant, and what we did from what the fund get from Octant and another resources, we invested more than $500,000 to distribute water, to support farmers, to support vulnerable communities. Now we're working in Qatar, Palestine, Saudi Arabia, and currently in the United States, partially in Ghana, Africa. We're looking to raise this amount of fund because we are currently working to integrate in technology with our systems and to develop our filtration system to remove heavy metals, especially lead contaminants, and to treat saline water. Currently, we are working to develop this technology with my team to integrate blue filter sensors with AirPods in order to make everyone water examiner everywhere. And this is our filtration units. We have 2 units, the bigger one and the small one. As we can see, no electricity, no chemicals. Or each unit, it's valid at least for 1 year without any repairment or maintenance or any improvements.
Excellent.
Thank you for your listening. This is my team. We have experience over 30 years in water treatment system. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation, Salah. And last but not least, where can people find you just to follow along and see anything that they might have missed?
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And any support will help us to expand our technology to many countries. Thank you again.
Yep, absolutely. We've got the links at octant.app for all these great projects, and what a great round it's been. We've got one more before we get into a little explanation of what exactly quadratic funding is with a cool tool from the folks at Octant. Nico, I believe you have a video for ECH Institute, yeah?
Yes, Pooja couldn't be here, unfortunately, but she sent a video that I will be sharing right now. And
Octant is for everyone. That's absolutely wonderful. The way Ethereum is revolutionizing the technology and finance world, Octant is revolutionizing the world of public good funding. Hello, everyone. My name is Pooja Ranjan, and I am the proud president at ECH Institute. I would have loved to join the live demo, but I am on mom's duty. So this is a recording from previous night. Well, Octant V2 is trying to make more impact and make your 2 cents actually matters and actually getting contributed to public good funding. Well, ECH Institute, for those who aren't aware, is a public good organization. It's a nonprofit supporting Ethereum governance and trying to encourage people to participate in the process. In the next 3 to 4 minutes, you would learn more about ECH and why ECH matters to the Ethereum community. This is a snapshot of what we have done in Q1. People interested to find detailed report may visit ECH Institute website. These are just number for your consideration, and we are doing way more than this. We did partner with 4 different projects in order to increase our support to bring more awareness of Ethereum governance in the ecosystem. So very thankful to the contributors of Epoch 10 because that's how it was possible. ECH sits beautifully at the intersection of people, process, and protocol. We do multiple programs in order to support onboarding, especially women, and we try to educate more people who may or may not know coding. They can even participate in the ecosystem beyond coding. Towards the process side, it has been a pleasure to be part of the ecosystem supporting EIP process since 2019. Recently, we celebrated the 100th milestone of EIP Editing Office Hour. That suggests that the community is so loving the opportunity to talk to editors, to contribute and bring us more proposals. On protocol side, I have personally documented a few meta apes that not only captures what was.
Did we lose our presentation there?
Looks like it. Give me 1 second.
No problem. And while we're doing that, keep the comments up. I absolutely love seeing folks like Sevish saying, damn, that filter looks badass. Indeed, it does. If you've got something to share, if you've got a question for one of these projects, if you want to find out more about them, you can go to octant.app. And here we go. Let's give it a try.
That not only captures what was there in that particular upgrade, but also is a reference point for future participants. People who may be interested in learning about Ethereum's upgrade naming process may check out EIP 8133. It's really interesting to learn how we have evolved. We produce multiple podcasts and they all have their specialization. Peep and Eep is a deep dive explainer of EIP's ecosystem project demo is a platform where all public good projects can demo their project, how it works, and increase the reach towards community. Recently, we started the code confession. This goes beyond code. This is actual human story that we try to capture. We recorded an episode with Eli Bensasson, the CEO of Starkware, where he shared about his new book. He talked about quantum, he talked about zkproof, and he also shared a very beautiful story of Vitalik's first investment. So if you have missed it, please check it out. Numbers tells us reach, stories tells us impact. This is some of those stories which are shared in the ecosystem, some word of appreciation for the work done by ECH contributors. And it's a celebration for the community itself. Two things that I'm so proud to share with you beyond protocol education. It's about our involvement with the community. We supported the DAO security funding round way beyond being a participant and the Pizza DAO Bitcoin Pizza Day. It's about an ecosystem. We want to have more participants getting into Ethereum ecosystem, so we want to increase the reach. There is a gap that we have identified for the enterprise level user. They may not be able to understand what is being discussed during the ACD calls. And that's why we have brought this new program called Edge, in which we hope to bridge the gap between the enterprise and protocol developer. We would love to have them on the same room and talk about the improvements and the changes that we are expecting in the upcoming upgrades. Everything you see here in this slide is already in motion, and we can do it successfully with your support. Ethereum's next decade isn't about the protocol alone. It will be won by the people who understands it, explains it, and bring others onto it. So vote for us in Octant Epoch 12. Thank you, everyone.
And thank you, Pooja. Excellent job. That was perfectly timed.
Just under the wire.
Just under the wire. Really good work. Okay. We have another cool presentation. We alluded to it earlier. Alex, you remember when I said we were going to explain quadratic funding?
I do. Yeah. What I seem to remember most about that is that I understand it completely and perfectly and crush the definition. And we couldn't hear it, but we're just going to have to take my word for it.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of this.
Okay. But in case you're telling us a fib or somebody watching doesn't understand it, I know that Nico has a resource prepared from the fine folks at Octant. If you want to play along at home, you're going to go to qf.octant.app. Nico, take away the screen share and tell us a little more about this tool that you guys built. What are we looking at here?
Absolutely, yeah. We built this exciting tool to explain and allows people to play around with what quadratic funding is. For those who don't know, QF rewards the projects with the most supporters, not the richest ones. And with Octant, we've developed what we call proper quadratic funding that is based on Vitalik's first article that tackles quadratic funding as a mechanism to fund public goods. And what this does is it introduces what we call alpha. And here is the complex formula that not even myself understands. But if some nerds out there, it looks legit. If some nerds out there want to nerd into it, then you can use this resource to get into that. But here is a very simple explanation as an example of how it works, where we can see in the old way where one whale can determine who is the winner that receives the largest amount of the matching fund, while with quadratic funding, the project that receives the largest amount of donations from multiple people is the one that receives the largest amount of funding from the matching fund. And to showcase this, we can we've built this slider tool where you can play around with it. You can determine what's the total amount raised, what is the split across contributors, and then you will have a result. The comparison between, okay, what happens if one whale gives that amount versus the amount of, let's say, in this case, 10 contributors that you can modify here with this slider. And further on, we have more sliders to play with that I invite you to do so. This is probably the most exciting one because this explains what alpha is. I was mentioning it earlier in the formula. What it basically does, it determines a fairer matching, a fair distribution of the matching fund based on both the quantity, the money quantity that is funded and the amount of people who are funding it. What this means is that it's not always the case that the entire matching fund is distributed. So it also incentivizes more people to participate and the community to get broader. So you can also play around with this slider to understand this better. And last but not least, and this is maybe the more complex one that I'm not going to do it here live because we have a lot of projects that want to present, you can build your own round. So here you can determine the amount of matching for the round. You can have the list of projects that are participating here, adding more projects and understanding what would be the result based on the different types of allocations. So yeah, I invite you to go to qf.octant.app to understand what is proper quadratic funding.
Nico, I got to give you some of your own applause, man. Very cool. Like Sivish said in the comments, this tech stuff is over my head. But seeing some of the practical tactical applications like the water filter or even like this cool slider, that makes it a little more real. So thank you guys for making the complex clear. Check it out. I've played around with it a lot, and we got some content last week in New York for our friends at Octant, getting folks' reactions live. And I'm here to tell you, if I can understand it, if Alex can explain it, then you'll get it too. So shall we keep going?
Let's do it.
Awesome. Then please help me in welcoming to the stage from EthStaker. Jonathan is here to present. Welcome to Demo Day, Jonathan. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you all for having me.
It's good to be here with you. Have you got a screen share?
I'm just going to keep this conversational, actually, and not share a screen. So, and there's a good reason for that, because for those that are familiar with EthStaker or not, a big thing about what we do is engaging directly with people in conversation, virtually and in person in live events. And for us, that's a huge part of how we fulfill our mission. So what is our mission? Well, if you think about what Ethereum is and how it runs, a big element of it is the staking ecosystem. And if we don't have a healthy, decentralized staking ecosystem, then we're really just building the same thing that we have in the traditional world of centralized entities and large companies running things. So for our mission at EthStaker, we advocate for the health of the staking ecosystem, the solo staking community, and maintaining this core, pure, most decentralizing thing about Ethereum. So, you know, this, like I said, I'm Jonathan, I'm from EthStaker, and we support people who are staking at home, staking solo, and also just the entire ecosystem health. So I want to give you a little bit of a context about some things about what we do for those that are maybe not as familiar with the EthStaker story. Everyone can go read more at ethstaker.org, which is our website, and links out to everything and our whole social presence and the knowledge bases and everything, and our Discord and what have you. But just to give you a sense, most people, when they think about staking, go and Google it, and guess what comes up first? Coinbase staking and centralized exchange staking. And those are, you know, valid entry points. Coinbase and different exchanges have done a lot for the ecosystem over the years to build it and everything. But what we do is provide a counterpoint to that to engage directly with the protocol for people who want to learn how to actually participate hands-on directly. And so we do that virtually and with live events. And I think one of the best stories of live events is when we put on these things called node operator hubs. And we've done this at the last DevCon and the last DevConnect, where a myriad of people from the community come and participate and share different ways of staking, whether it be solo or through liquid staking protocols, or through other projects to directly stake on Ethereum, and people to control their own node and their own setup. That's very important to us, and we want to help make this as universal as possible. So in order to accomplish that, we have things that we develop and support all the time around education, supplementary materials like a knowledge base. We even develop open source software like ETHDocker, which is an easy button for people to run their own node on a machine at home, or something called the EthStaker deposit CLI, which is the successor to the original deposit CLI for generating your own keys that you control. And then most recently, we are developing something called Staker Console, which is a successor to the staking launchpad that the Ethereum Foundation had originally developed. So all of these things require resources, attention, audits, security audits, which are always ongoing and necessary to have current and expensive. So we are working to support all of these things, on-ramp stakers, and provide that free community education. We don't sell people to people. We are a nonprofit, and we are very connected to like the core open source ethos of open source software, privacy, security, and just ultimately helping Ethereum be censorship resistant. So we love Octant because I love this theme that Octant is for everyone, and it's EthStaker and the mission and being community funded through a quadratic funding mechanism like this is completely aligned to how we are going to be supported for the long term and being viable in our mission. So yeah, EthStaker is a great option for you to donate in this round. It's a high leverage public good that you can support, and I encourage everyone to consider allocating to EthStaker and help keep solo staking and the entire ecosystem independent. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah, man after my own heart, running with no slides. That is the way to do it.
Alex, did you see this question from Cvish? I think we have a second. We could take it.
Yeah, no, it's a great question because the benefit here, I mean, the first one that comes to my mind is that when you're staking through a centralized exchange, you don't really know exactly what the stake is or if it's even really happening. You're kind of just taking the word that the intermediary is actually staking. And so, one of the motivations for staking would be protect the chain that you love and care about and you're trying to support, make it run harder, better, faster, stronger. And if you're going through a SEX versus something decentralized, there's no way to know for sure.
Jonathan, anything to add to that? And if not, can you share your links just one more time so people can find you?
Yeah, EthStaker.org, so ETHStaker.org. And I would completely agree with what you just said there. Controlling your own setup is the most direct connection you can have to the network. So operating your own node, your own computer. Some people do it in the cloud if they don't have strong internet or what have you, but there's a myriad of ways to do it. So we like to help support those.
Excellent. Thank you, Jonathan. And good luck in the Epoch.
Thank you.
Yep. We'll see you soon. Everybody, up next, we have got growthepie. I want you to join me in welcoming Tobias from growthepie to the stage. Welcome to Epoch 12 Demo Day. Thank you for being here with us.
Hello. Thank you
Got your
very
screen
much.
share at the ready, and we'll give you 5 minutes. Your time begins now. Good luck, my friend.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me well. Got some internet issues for some reason. I'm really honored to present growthepie again for the next Octant Epoch 12. So you might know growthepie is an Ethereum data platform. So we started out more than 3 years ago now. We covered layer 2s, the usage around layer 2s. So remember when it was basically very unknown, okay, like what's the next layer 2 that's coming up? Why is it there? How can we actually use it? And that's what we covered throughout. We then covered more and more Ethereum analytics as well, adding more and more apps so that people really understand, okay, what's really going on in the Ethereum ecosystem. And that's what we've been doing ever since. And we adding more and more features, and we covering more and more applications. So a lot of things, and you might know, as a builder, it's basically your workflow is you develop a project, you deploy your smart contracts, and then you're there, right? But you also need to be discovered. And that's what we're trying to help with. Really, we do a lot of smart contract labeling, which means we now identify the projects that are behind the smart contracts and really try to bundle all the contracts that are different project or that one project has, and then you can actually learn about its usage. So that means really kind of understanding, okay, how much transaction count does a project have? How much is like the active usage around it? And where is it deployed on different layer 2s? So just like looking at applications here right now, when you see my screen, we then now can look at different time frames. Okay, what was popular in the last 30 days, for example? We see here 1inch, we see Glow Dollar. So there was some activity. Kind of a top app, obviously, is always Polymarket. We know probably now with the FIFA World Cup that this will spike again. But when we look at examples, other examples like Ether.fi, with cash card business, you can literally see, okay, like what's the transaction count around the Ether, like Ether.fi card purchases, for example. And there was a recent kind of process that they migrated from Scroll to OP Mainnet, for example. So you, as a chain, for example, like OP Mainnet in this case, could learn, okay, what is now the actual transaction count around Ether.fi on my chain, and how did it change in terms of Scroll, and how did the migration actually go? But what else do we actually do? We also cover more chains and more applications in detail. For example, with Celo, we released a report that really highlighted, okay, what is it like to be an Ethereum layer 2 now, since Celo migrated from being its own chain, its own layer 1 chain, to becoming an Ethereum L2. So you can learn about that in our reports. And we have more curated topics, really all data-driven, that we call quick bites. So again, not learning only about the chain, what the usage is around these chains and the applications, but also different topics that might be of interest to many different people. So lately, we basically have been covering programming languages, securing Ethereum's value. So that, of course, we know that Solidity, it's Viper, but what do they actually then cover in this sense? And obviously, everyone's talking about AI. So what are the AI agents in the Ethereum ecosystem? So you can really learn, okay, what AI agents are out there, where are the valid reviews, where are unique reviewers, and so on, and is it actually growing? So when you go to our landing page as well, you see the latest trending topics. You see the latest apps that are showing up that you can discover. And here you can also learn, okay, what's actually going on. What are the new things that you need to look at in the Ethereum ecosystem? We know sentiment right now is not the best, but we still cover all these topics. And obviously, like, life goes on in the Ethereum ecosystem, and there's more and more apps to discover, and we're trying to cover all of this. And please also, when you actually have your own contracts, please just paste them in there in our search bar. And if they're not yet labeled, you can also label them yourself. As we said, like, we do a lot of labeling, but please also add your own projects, because discoverability is key. So we're really excited about this Epoch. Thanks for having us, and it's always a pleasure to be part of Octant. Thank you very much. Thanks for all your efforts.
Absolutely. Great to hear about Grow the Pie.
Listen. I do owe Tobias an apology. I know it's Grow the Pie, but as I was reading it, I was like, wait, Growth Pie. So Thank you.
Yeah,
for your
open
praise.
invitation for someone to found GrowthPie, whatever it is or whatever
Exactly.
it could be. Evan can't wait.
Well, thank you again, Tobias. Tell us one more time the links where people can find you.
Yeah, that's growthepie.com or on Twitter at growthepie_ETH. That's the _ETH is very important. Otherwise,
The
you end up
underscore
with a
ETH.
different account.
So important. Thank you and good luck in
Thanks.
the Epoch. Okay, guys, we are officially caught up on time. We're about halfway down. We've got almost a dozen more great projects to share. Up next is going to be the Hypercerts Foundation. I know Holke is on deck. I just want to remind everybody that if you've missed any of these pitches, you can rewind them whether you're watching now or in the future. And if you're in the future, hello, we hope your candles are green. You can learn more and participate and contribute to distributing these matching funds at octant.app. But without further ado, let's keep it going. Please welcome to the stage Holke from Hypercerts. Welcome to Demo Day. How are you today?
Very good. Thank you for having me, and thank you for including us in the round.
Truly a pleasure. We've got your presentation on screen, and your 5 minutes begins now. Good luck.
Amazing. So I'm really excited to present to you a little bit about the Hypercerts Foundation and our recent work. So what we really care about is funding impact. And why do we care about it? Because what we choose to fund shapes the future that we create. We cannot shape the future without resources. So today I want to start with introducing a project that uses a technology that we built at the Hypercerts Foundation, and this is MaEarth. MaEarth is a platform for collective funding for community-led regeneration. So these are actually like the projects that on the ground do the work, have like watershed projects, have other land-based projects, reforestation projects, all the things. It's really cool to see. And I will also show you a few that are being funded through this platform. The nice thing for me is I don't need to explain to you too much about the mechanisms, because the mechanism is quadratic funding, the same mechanism that Octant uses. We will have a $500,000 matching pool for 100 land projects. And to show you a little bit about these projects, first, here's a map of all the projects that will be in the round, because the round, the applications are done, the selection is done, and now we will actually start with the actual round July 1st. And you can see the projects are really everywhere. There are some clusters, there are some gaps. We'll work on the gaps in the next round, but the distribution is already amazing. And when we look at the projects, you really have like here almost 800 projects that you can look through. 44 pages, I believe, if you look through all of them. And just to give you an example, here is a project in Costa Rica from Brave Earth that was already included in the first round, that was run on Gitcoin. This is the first round that is being run on MaEarth's own platform. So what does that have to do with Hypercerts? When you build a funding platform, then in the traditional way, you would actually own all the data about the projects. You would also run your jury, your committee to select projects, and the data would be locked in a platform. So what the Hypercerts Foundation holds is this one piece about how can we make this data, first of all, controlled by the projects, and second of all, available for a larger network. So how can we build a network where multiple platforms can use the same data, the projects are in control, or the evaluators who hold data are in control, and not a single platform. So what you see here, for example, also is this project is trusted by the BioFi project and Biome Trust, and you see powered by Certified. Powered by Certified is the technology that we are building at the Hypercerts Foundation. So for example, if you sign in, you also would sign in with your Certified account. If you go to certified.app, we actually have our current website, but I will showcase here the app and website that we are about to launch. So the Certified account is your one account that captures your work, and you can be able to recognize everywhere for that work, including getting funding. So your account holds your profile, your records, your supporters, and you can then take that to really any platform. here is the platform, and we can, if I jump over to this one, also see the same data that we saw on my Earth is here now on the certified app. So really to just show you that the data is portable. And the data is portable because we are building on @protocol. @protocol is the protocol that powers also Blue Sky. So there are already 40 million users here. And you can just reuse your Blue Sky account or any other account on @protocol. You don't need to have exactly a certified account. It's all interoperable. What we have done here is adding some tools that take out more friction. So it's a passwordless, email-based login. We have built group accounts because land projects have groups. And then we have built the lexicons, the schemas, what is an activity claim, what is funding. And where this goes is we really want to build a network where many different funding platforms, many different kind of grants and prize competitions all are plugged into the same data layer. And the technology that we are building on top of @protocol makes this happen. And we are excited to collaborate more with other funders and platforms, and also see really different applications. Just to mention that democracy, another really cool application, how we do democracy, also uses Hypercerts in the background in the certified stack. And it's just an explosion of the ecosystem who all use and are building interoperable apps is what we are trying to do.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
All good.
But appreciate you taking the time to join us and share the presentation with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And
I'd love
one
to
more time
see all the
before
use
we...
cases as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
more.
Yeah,
and give us the Twitter handle and the best place to follow along one more time before you head out.
Best place, hypercerts.org on Blue Sky, but we also are still on Twitter as well, or X. Hypercerts is our handle there.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Good luck in the Epoch. And Nico, you mentioned it, but I do want to dwell in. This is something that has a lot of different applications, like many of these products do.
Yeah, and I mean, Hypercerts has been a grantee for a lot of epochs on Octant, and seeing their growth has been amazing. So congratulations, Holke and the entire team, for all the work and all the impactful stuff that you're doing. It's truly fascinating to see all the cool projects. Like if you check out all those projects, Mars, Democracy, etc., that are functioning, like they're awesome. So excited to see Hypercerts being part of it.
Yeah, to think about how many of them have already contributed like great things to the Ethereum story, the Octant story is great. But then also to think about all the potential applications, all the potential use cases that have yet to be created, and how cool it is as contributors here, GLM stakers, to be co-creators of this kind of thing. We've had a lot of great projects so far. I'm going to show them briefly on the screen so you can maybe take a little screenshot if you want to remember this moment. And we've got a lot of cool projects still coming up. If you've missed some, you can rewind the stream, you can rewatch it later, you can send it to your mom, send it to your friends. We're going to have more cool explanations of some of the features that Octant is implementing to this epoch soon. But for now, we're going to keep it going from L to Beat. Please help me welcome to Demo Day, Patty. How are you?
Hey guys, all good. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Thanks for having us for yet another epoch. Very excited about this one.
We're glad to have you back. I've got your presentation on the screen. We'll have 5 minutes on the timer for you. Good luck.
Amazing. Thank you. So let me introduce L2P then. What we do is that we try to make the Ethereum ecosystem transparent and accountable. We do this by looking what's under the hood of the protocols. And so far, we've been focusing mostly on layer 2s or the scaling projects on top of Ethereum. And recently, we've expanded into some other protocols as well. And we try to compare the claims that they make to the on-chain reality, as we believe that this increases the trust in the space overall. And we're often pushing them to do better. That's why sometimes we are also referred as the L2 police. The way that we surface the risk for these L2s is with our risk rosette. The greener, the better. It's also known as the risk pizza. We also have the stages framework and the walkaway test that shows if you can exit a chain, if something bad happens, if the operators are malicious. And we have a lot of data, lots of metrics on the adoption. We also try to quantify the risks. So we have things like the activity, the value secured, that is the value at risk on the chain. We're also tracking the chain operators' activity, and we surface any anomalies, and that's from today. There are 3 ongoing anomalies right now, and that's important as if there are no proper failure mechanisms, it might be that funds are actually stuck on these chains. We're diving deeper into some of the components of the scaling stack. One is the DA layers. So we cover projects like EigenDA, Celestia, and others. We have a separate risk framework for these. And we report metrics like their throughput and the data that scaling projects are posting to the layers. We also report the top posters. So for Ethereum, for example, over the past day, this has been base. We do the same for the ZK provers, as ZK tech is now mature. A lot of projects are switching to ZK. So we cover all the ZK provers in our catalog that are used by the scaling projects and their trust assumptions. And I would say that the most important thing that we do here is that we regenerate all the on-chain verifiers. The latest one that we did is the lighter desert verifier. And that's important as with this one, for example, you might have to regenerate it yourself if the team goes away and you want to exit. So we want to make sure that this works, and we provide the steps on how to do it. And then we have the interoperability, as bridges also introduce risks, and this looks a bit better here. This is something that we introduced a couple months ago, and it's actually the most visited page on our website right now. It shows how value moves across the ecosystem. We cover not only L2s, but also other L1s. And interesting insight is that Ethereum, ever since we have released this feature, has been the top chain by volume consistently. So most of the value moves through Ethereum somehow. We cover almost 40 interop protocols with metrics and detailed risk analysis that you can check out on their pages. And the latest thing that we released is the privacy page. Privacy is a major topic. It's part of the Ethereum roadmap. It's part of the CROPS principles. So we thought that we should look into it, and we started with the privacy pools as they have the largest adoption right now. So we surface some interesting attributes of these. We have detailed risk analysis once again, and we have metrics on the total value locked, deposits and withdrawals, and the assets breakdown, which are important for the anonymity set in this case. We also show the risks and in which cases privacy can be lost. So what's next for us? We'll keep expanding probably into more protocols, creating new risk frameworks through the lens of the CROPS principles that got introduced in the EF mandate. So we might actually shift from being the L2 police to being the CROPS police. Yeah, so make sure to check our website at l2b.com. We'll stay open and neutral, and that's thanks to the community support.
Thank you so much, Adi. We really, really appreciate it. We appreciate the shout out for the links at the end, and we wish you the best of luck in this epoch.
Thank you very much, guys.
Awesome. It just makes me think, looking at this and looking at everything that we've seen so far, like she commented how much stuff really does flow through Ethereum, and it just reminds me like how gigantic and diverse and incredible this whole ecosystem is. I mean, people and things from all over the world. It just makes me think if you have any cool idea, I mean, it's easier than ever to make an idea and pitch something and throw it out there, and the Ethereum ecosystem, I'm sure, would be better for it. So.
Yeah, the only thing missing, we say it because it's true, is you. We're going to keep things right going. Did I get a point for that? All right, okay, I'll take it. I need it after saying growthepie. Sorry, growthepie.
Oh, that's true. I did forget. So it's gone. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Please, everybody, join us in welcoming Carl to the stage from Open Source Observer. Carl, welcome to Demo Day. How are you?
Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Carl from OSO, formerly known as Open Source Observer.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go ahead and get your presentation up on the screen, and
Nice.
we will let you have the stage. My friend, your 5 minutes begins now. Good luck.
All right. So yeah, once again, I am Carl from OSO, formerly known as Open Source Observer, and we build technology for funders and data scientists to measure impact in the open. We got our start in 2023. I think that makes us probably one of the younger teams that have been on the showcase today. But we've been building OSO alongside the Ethereum community from day one. And Octant has been a huge backstop for us. So just want to shout out to everyone here and say that we're immensely grateful for the support. So since the very beginning, our goal has always been to create neutral, objective data and transparent provenance so that funders can actually measure impact and audit the results and provide transparency to their communities. So there's a bunch of different things that we do. I'm going to give a quick tour today. I will start with a resource that we maintain together with our friends Tobias and others at growthepie called OSS Directory. It's basically a Git-based registry of thousands of open source projects and applications. We register the projects, and then we also enumerate artifacts that belong to them, like social handles, websites, Git repos, packages, deployer addresses, and other things. So it basically becomes the foundation of a lot of the work that we do with funders who want some kind of community-facing registry that they can then enrich with their own grants platform or CRM. So yeah, go check it out on GitHub. Contributions are always welcome. There are more than 100 contributors that have added their projects or made updates to it. So that's the first one. Second, one of the things that we're most excited about right now is a collaboration with a European initiative called Current AI, who are trying to fund and grow the self-hosted, fully open, sovereign AI stack. And so recently, we've been helping them monitor every layer of the open and the closed AI stack so that they can make comparisons of closed versus open products, and then use that to decide where they should focus their grant making, try and attract investments, and ideally get builders to focus on layers that are underserved. So what you're looking at here is a Python notebook, which is built on top of OSO's data platform, and it coordinates a whole bunch of indexers and AI enrichment jobs to help them keep pace of all the different things that are happening in the AI ecosystem. Right now, we focus on around 300 projects. Each one, you can kind of zoom in and get the latest information about how it's doing when it comes to adoption, capability, and then taking a range of different measures of how open it truly is. So I'll just pick an example right here. So let's take Llama Factory. You can go in and see how the scoring works and get the sources for everything. And again, this is a community project, which is growing right now. They're planning on launching it later this month. So that's one to keep an eye on. We've been doing a lot of work with the Ethereum Foundation as well. So some of you might have seen a resource called the Electric Capital Developer Report. At the end of last year, they open sourced all of the data. And what we've been doing is help unify the data from Electric Capital, which covered a broad slice of crypto, but not all of the software ecosystem, with other public data sources like GitHub Archive. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the data that we're gathering ourselves at OSO. And so what we've put together is a portal here for anyone who wants to explore developer data. And we've kind of explained how you can get started, how you can use all the different sources that exist. We've created models for measuring different types of ecosystems, understanding what information is available about repositories, tracing developers, creating metrics. And then we've also seeded it with our own set of insights and examples of things that data scientists might do with this data. Of course, it's all agent friendly. So there's a setup here. You can grab initial skill file and hopefully hit the ground running and not waste hours trying to figure out each of these data sources yourself. So perhaps by now you're thinking, okay, these are all like cool things, but they feel pretty disparate. What does OSO actually do? So I'm going to go to another example to show what we're actually building on the product side, which is a open AI native platform for data work. So I've been doing data stuff for over a decade. Historically, it's been a pretty lonely game, and we are trying to make it much more collaborative. Trying to remove the blockers between data teams working with engineering and then decision makers or operators being able to use data to make decisions. as a fun example of what's possible, I just made this yesterday in about 15 minutes, but it's basically creating our own World Cup simulation model where you can pull all the latest data from matches. This goes back to 1872. It runs a Monte Carlo simulation, and it compares those results against odds that are pulled from Polymarket. Now, these days, you could probably vibe code something like this, but the real challenge is actually getting it hooked up to a live data pipeline. So every time a match updates or the odds refresh, you can pull the latest data. So that's kind of the magic behind the scenes. And with that foundation, you can now collaborate with teammates. They can add their own charts. They can add their own analysis. You can have competing models. And then you can also chat with a notebook and ask it questions like, who are the two teams that are most likely to appear in the finals right now? So TLDR, our model actually thinks Argentina is undervalued right now, and Spain is also a little bit undervalued, whereas France, we think, might be a little bit overvalued right now relative to the market. Not financial advice, but definitely a fun thing to play around with. And I can just skim through the notebook here. Again,
I'm sorry to say I can't let you skim through it because we've got to give fair participation to all of the pitchers. But I do want to give you a chance to invite people to follow, or maybe if you've got this posted somewhere live, where can they go to see it or to learn more?
Great. So the best place to follow along, go to our Twitter, OS Observer, and then you can come to our website, oso.xyz, and you can reach out to me on Telegram. Thanks so much, guys.
Carl, thank you. Good luck in the Epoch. I just love having my finger on the button for whenever I want to give somebody some applause, and they all deserve it today. Before we welcome our next speakers, because I know they're on deck, Nico, I understand that you have even more about the quadratic funding simulator to show us.
Yeah, well, actually, now we're gonna show something pretty exciting on the Octant app that is an AI feature for the epochs. Let me bring it up. There we go. So we have an AI assistant for the epoch that you can use. You can ask anything. If you go to the epoch that you will be participating in, it will pop up right there. Or you can also pull it up here on the bottom right corner next to the feedback button, which I also recommend to use in case you bump into any issues during voting. And yeah, this is pretty exciting because you can ask it literally anything. So for example, we can ask, what are the projects that are more relevant to Ethereum, for example? And it will pop up here in the right side, and it will give me an overview of all the projects that are relevant for Ethereum. And it also will create a sort of card where if I click on it, it will show me the page where their information is at, and you can easily afterwards add it to your ballot down here. It also tells me that I have already selected 3 projects with this amount of multiplier, and it's asking me if I want to add these other projects to Ethereum. You can literally ask anything that you have in mind, any questions, any doubts. If you don't know how to allocate your votes, maybe it can give you some suggestions based on what you like, or if you want some more information about projects, then it will also bring it up for you. So yeah, would highly recommend using these tools. Pretty exciting. Yeah. And
like Gabe says here, try it out because feedback is welcome.
Yeah, and for feedback, remember the bottom right button here is a form where you can easily submit all the feedback.
Dude, very cool. We've got another feature coming up after a few more pitches, explaining how this is the first epoch where not only can you contribute with GLM, but with ETH too. We're going to talk about that and some of the concerns people might have, the opportunities they'll have, so much more. But I have to ask you guys, did you know I actually have my own AI assistant like this? Alex, You are my trusty friend, co-founder, and co-host.
I sure am.
But when Alex has a sick day,
Hey, man.
I've got soundboard Alex.
I am a big fan of this.
Yes, you are a big fan of this.
A great example of things that have been collected, data that I have generated that was taken from me without adequate compensation, I might add.
This
to
is
be
a
used
gross
against me.
misrepresentation of the facts.
At convenient and funny times, according to Evan.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun for me.
My dad can beat up your dad.
Even if it's
not ideal
for you. So thank you for being a good sport. Check it out.
Soon you won't need me at all.
No, man, I'm always.
Evan, how can I get the Alex AI? I think I'll need it as well.
For just $9.99, I'll sell it to you as a subscription. You got to come to the Rise Up Morning Show or Rise Up After Dark. We'll pitch ourselves at the end, but for now, we
Coming
have
soon
got
to octant.app is the AI assistant answered in my voice with all of my pithy quips and remarks. So stay tuned for that in V2.
I will absolutely die on this hill.
Okay, without further ado, thank you. We've got more pitches to get through. Please welcome us in joining to Demo Day, Peter from Protocol Guild. Welcome, Peter. How are you?
Hey guys, good morning. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm Peter from Protocol Guild. I'll start with a little anecdote. So Ethereum's core protocol is securing hundreds of billions of dollars across millions of users and tens of thousands of builders, and it's maintained by a relatively small group that has historically unstable and underfunded compensation. And so what we do at Protocol Guild, where I'm coming from, is we seek to route funding to Ethereum's core protocol workers so that Ethereum is able to deliver on its roadmap, and so that those individuals are able to continue sticking around working on Ethereum's core protocol, because we believe as an ecosystem, it's really important strategic imperative to keep those individuals retained and well compensated. And so the scope of this funding need is rather large and rather daunting at times. We don't have a pure demo, as we don't necessarily have an app. We essentially just exist sort of as an on-chain entity. But I can kind of share a little bit about how Protocol Guild works here, and I'll go through our Dune dashboard. And so, as I mentioned, what we do is we try to support those that are building Ethereum's core protocol with funding. And what we do first is we try to really make those individuals legible on chain. So how we do that is we curate a list of those core protocol contributors, and how we define that is individuals that are working on Ethereum improvement proposals that get ingested via the all core dev process, debated on, and then defined into what's called upgrades. So you're probably aware of things like Hagota, the forthcoming Hagota or Glamsterdam, or things like Fusaka in the past, or Pectra. And so those upgrades are bundles of EIPs that are delivered as a new fork, and execution and consensus layer clients deliver those EIPs into an upgrade. And so those individuals that are responsible are the researchers behind the EIPs, the actual developers that are working on the execution and consensus layer clients. And because Ethereum has this, puts a lot of weight on client diversity for security purposes and uptime purposes, there's a necessity to fund multiple teams across execution and consensus layer clients. So it creates a rather large membership of individuals. So we fund 196 today. You can see how that membership has grown over time. And alongside researchers and client devs, there's also individuals that help with upgrade delivery. So these are individuals that are helping out with testing and dev nets that help prepare these upgrades for mainnet launch. And as you can see on our Dune dashboard, these individuals have been contributing a collective 728 years to Ethereum, which is really great. And we'd like to keep them sticking around. We find that, in surveying these individuals, they are regularly receiving compensation offers that are around 2 times the size of what their current compensation package is. So we try to really rebalance that incentive gap for them and try to make contributing to Ethereum's core protocol more economically rational. And how we do that, as you can see by our donor leaderboard, is we essentially try to get contributions from across the Ethereum ecosystem. Octant, as you can see, is very high on our leaderboard at number 6 with 161,000 vesting and 300,000, nearly 300,000 vested already for a total of 460,000, putting them at number 6 on our currently vesting leaderboard. And how we raise that funding, as I mentioned, is from projects around the ecosystem in things like public goods funding rounds like Octant and Gitcoin and Giveth, for example. Ad hoc donations, projects will come and just make a donation, like Aerodrome. Andrew Keys from one of the DATs has made donations, but our main mode of contribution in the past has been something called the 1% pledge, where projects that are approaching their token generation event will route 1% of their token supply to to Protocol Guild's smart contracts, and that those vest over 4 years to that membership group of 196. And as you can see, over the last 12 months, we've distributed roughly 41,000 to the median member. And because we distribute the tokens in kind, there is some volatility associated with that. So that figure has depreciated for the coming 12 months. So we have a lot of work to do to kind of really help to rebalance this incentive gap. As you can see, the market's been in a little bit of a downturn. So our token based funding levels have depleted a little bit, but all that's to say is we still have a lot of work to do to really help to rebalance these incentives for Ethereum's core protocol workers. And yeah, we appreciate all the help that Octant has, done for us to date in allowing us to help rebalance those incentives. And I think here's another kind of interesting.
Peter, I'm so sorry, but I have to cut you off. We really appreciate you for making time to share and want to invite you to tell people where they can see the rest of this presentation or follow up and connect with you if they want to learn more and support.
Absolutely. Really appreciate your guys' time. You can follow Protocol Guild and keep up to date at protocolguild.org and donate from the website as well. Appreciate the time, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Alex, I tried, but I just couldn't replace you with the soundboard, man. Welcome back.
It's not there yet, but you know what? I believe in you. You'll get there someday. In your quest to be the Jim Cramer of Web3, you and your soundboard are going to make it, dude.
Correct.
Soundboard Nico coming soon. Okay.
You know, Evan, I just realized we are currently 2 away from crossing 800 viewers on stream, which feels like a great time to remind everybody watching who is enjoying all of these excellent presentations that the easiest and freest way to support the work that Octant is doing to get projects like these funded is to like and share. And as I said it, we crossed 800. So, hey.
Hey, man, congratulations.
Killing it.
Big fan. And congrats to you, Nico, Mashal, Octant's whole team. I saw that Gabe was here in the chat laughing along with us. This is a great demo day so far, wouldn't you say?
I'm loving it. The projects are amazing, and like the progress that they do from epoch to epoch is also incredible to see. So very excited to see all this.
Yeah, lots of friends in the chat from former epochs. So let us know if you're here and let's keep it going. Please join us in welcoming to Demo Day Andrew from Remix. Welcome. It's so good to see you. Thanks for being here to represent Remix Project. I've got your screen share up and I'm going to start your timer now. Good luck.
I think I was on mute. You keep mentioning Soundboard. Soundboard is actually Remix's US 501c3 nonprofit that takes in all the donations for these epics. So
we love it.
And we'd love to see your agent in our boot camp that we're just launching just on Monday. It's a 5-week boot camp that I'll talk about a bit later.
Okay, I'll be.
But as many of you may know, Remix is kind of considered the premier onboarding tool, Web 2 to Web 3 onboarding tool for educators and researchers and builders alike. We have, through Epoch 10, we've been able to have a very significant upgrade to our tool set. It's called Remix V2. It just launched. And as you can see, this is the interface you'll see. We've introduced cloud storage. and a very robust AI assistant using several different models that you can choose, including Claude, Opus, Sonnet, and Mistral models. You can also hook up your own API key through your own account on any of those models. And we now have logins from sign in with Ethereum, Google, GitHub, and various other ways to log in to the tool set. This has enabled us to also create a tool, a front end generator called QuickDApp. We think this is going to create much more smooth agentic flows for those that aren't necessarily developers who want to start building agentically through an assistant like this. So if you're just starting out, there's your plan, and you should be able to do all of that within Remix now. We're kind of enabling all this through a bootcamp that we just launched with Encode Club. Everybody's invited from here, anybody of any skill level. We're partnering with the Graph, Chainlink, ENS, Base, ZK Verify, and Scribe. They'll all be giving workshops over the next 4 to 5 weeks, and will culminate in a Builders Week with the tracks that are less based on DeFi, more based on real-world applications. So join us, try out Remix V2 in that, and then scale up your knowledge. Thanks much to Epoch 12 and Octant for joining, for having us in the Epoch. This is vital to our funding streams. So just thanks from the bottom of our hearts.
Hey, Andrew, thank you so much, and thanks for the generous invitation. I may have to bring Soundboard Alex.
I am a big fan of this.
To the demo day.
Bring your agent. Yeah, we'd love to see that. See what happens.
The boot camp is gonna get wild. One more time, where can people find you?
Remix.live is our main site. The tool set is remix.ethereum.org, and just go to Encode Club if you want to join the boot camp and try out the app.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Indeed, Eversman is right. It's an incredible session, and have I got something to tell you, my friends. If you're here with us today, you are truly witnessing quadratic funding history, and I couldn't be more.
As much as Evan has soundboard Alex, I have the power on my side to remove him from the stage whenever I want. And so in the wake of the demonstration of my truly awesome power, it is my pleasure to bring to the stage next Epoch 12 participant, Yabir. Yabir, it's great to see you. I've got your presentation here.
Yep.
And despite Evan's protest, we are going to move on without him. Proof that the world keeps on spinning.
Evan doesn't have all the power.
Exactly. Nope. And I'm glad that you were here with me to witness it in real time. So, Yabir, I'm going to throw your presentation up on the screen, and your time starts now. Take it away.
Okay. So many of you already know Rotki is an old project in the ecosystem. But I will, for the new people and people joining the ecosystem, I will give an explanation of what we do and why we believe our work is important. So Rotki, in simple words, is a privacy-first, local-focused, open-source portfolio tracking, and it has analytics and tools for tax reporting. So this is the quick summary, and let's go diving. The problem that many of us face is that there are a lot of protocols, blockchains, exchanges, and we put funds on each of them, and it's hard to keep track of what is happening or what is your total net worth. even if you need to do taxes, you need your history and you need it in a unified way, because otherwise it's a mess to do anything or get the statistics or whatever. So the two classical options are either you go with a software as a service. There are many options, but the problem is you give them your keys and you give them your history, linked to your wallets, of course. And this is problematic because it's a privacy concern. We have seen a lot of problems already with people getting kidnapped on even worse things. So there are a lot of implications with when you put your keys or your data on the cloud. And what we try to do is the opposite. Everything lives in your computer. You are the only owner and only you have access to the information, the whole information. Our values are open source. Everything is on GitHub. You can read it. You can contribute. Self-host is, as I said, is a local app that you download in your computer. You can run it also in Docker. So, for example, in a DappNode, the guys already are also in the Octant round and already presented. So you can run Rotki directly from your DappNode. It's local first, so the database and your data is always in the computer. Our mission is to provide an alternative to the cloud trackers when you want your financial information. There is what we call a bird view of your portfolio, that in a single place you see exchanges, the chains, different chains, and also you can track manually balances in banks, properties, and so on. We have more than 20 exchanges, including Kraken, Coinbase, and the biggest one. The main EVM chains, and also Bitcoin, Solana, Substrate, Polkadot, and so on. And many more sources that you can add information. So you get everything in a single place. With your history, it's the same. You add your address, we read the blockchain. We mean in the application in your computer, push the history from indexers, the RPC nodes, and so on, and it decodes the information. So everything becomes an entry in the database with a node, the label, protocol, where it happened, everything, so you can later export it and then do analytics, taxes, whatever you might need. The taxes are configurable in the sense that we don't provide a specific jurisdictions, but we give you the option to make the app be useful for you. So you can change the method for the accounting, you can change how certain settings behave, if you need special rules for special protocols. How Rotki sustains itself is by public rounds and like this in Octant. We are very thankful because we participated in past rounds and it's a great source of income for us. But also we have a premium subscription tier system. The premium unlocks tracking for staking, like EthStaking, Kraken, many more. The EthStaking is quite useful because we use it internally. It really helps if you have any validator. Also, we have special integrations with Monerium, Gnosis Pay, more limits, advanced analytics, encrypted backups that you can see in sync later across computers. We have been working since 2017. We support many exchanges, protocols, everything everything. The app is free, except the things that I mentioned before. It's open source. Everything can be edited and you can contribute. So stay sovereign, stay private. These are the useful links, or Discord. If we are always there and you want to give us feedback or whatever, we are open for it.
Thank you so much, Javier. We appreciate you and wish you luck in this
Thank
epoch.
you very much. Thank you for hosting the round on Epoch.
Truly our pleasure. Bye for now. Alex, I made it back. You couldn't keep me down for long.
No, you know what? I have deemed it so, and you're allowed to return.
Okay, all right, okay. So you're
on thin ice, though, buddy.
Listen. You know what I have to say to that?
This is a gross misrepresentation of the
If
facts.
you've got something to say to Alex,
over there.
you got something to say to me or one of the participants in this Epoch, we would love to hear from you. You can leave a chat comment. You can leave a comment at Octant.app on any of the tweets. And we hope that you will check out octant.app, where all the cool tools and where this allocation round truly live. Couldn't do it without you. Now, Nico informed us that our next presenter, good friend of our show and of Octant, Maggie Love, is not feeling too well. So we want to say first, Maggie, we hope you're well, and we appreciate you for trusting us in the interim to tell you a little more about our next project for this epoch, SheFi. Now, Alex, you might remember that SheFi previously was part of Epoch 9, the creator cohort, with us. We got to know Maggie's work a couple of years ago, maybe several seasons back when they were starting, but I have continued to see them all over the timeline. If you haven't yet, you need to know that SheFi is a crypto education program for women dedicated to meaningful adoption. And I would say they have achieved it. They have 30,000 plus members across 100 plus countries, educated through 16 cohorts since 2020. It's an incredible onboarding layer that I would go so far as to say has been ignored and missing until they came along. A lot of people have had their lives changed because they connected with others who wanted to learn through SheFi, something we certainly respect and appreciate. They have just announced, we're very excited to share, that Solana is joining them for season 17. So how about we get a little... It's going to be a Solana summer over at SheFi. And you can learn more and check them out at shefi.org on X or at shefi.org. You can learn more. You can join cohort 17. I know that they have scholarships available and have made education accessible. We've been to some of their events. There's a lot of crossover in our audiences, and I just think the work they're doing is really excellent.
Look who made it.
Oh, what do you know about that? There she is. Without further ado, let me hand this presentation over to Ms. SheFi herself. Please welcome Maggie Love. Maggie, welcome to Epoch 12 and to Demo Day.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. Always grateful to be a part of the Octant community, a part of the Epochs, and being able to chat with all of you. So I guess I will go on to my pitch. You can leave the website up because I don't have slides. I'm just going to go off the cuff here.
Excellent.
But for those of you that don't know about SheFi, as the website said, we are a community of 30,000 professional women from 100 countries that are building in frontier technologies. And I like to describe that as crypto and AI. A bit about SheFi, I thought of it in 2019 when the original DeFi protocols were taking off and people were earning money on Compound. And I realized none of my female peers were doing it. So that's what the came to be. The SheFi is a play on the word of DeFi, and I've been building it for over 6 years. And what's amazing about that journey is not that women know what liquidity pools are, or the EVM is, or how to swap or stake, or co-host a distributed validator node. Those are all things I've taught them. So we get that technical. As I like to joke now that I have women are sleeper agents in every crypto company in the ecosystem. So we just did a big survey, and women are leading blockchain at Fidelity, at MasterCard, at Visa, at Coinbase, right? People work all across the industry now. Those are just some of the highlights of the big names. And we're seeing at Circle, as crypto is growing up and going more towards the institutional space, we actually have SheFi members at all those companies. And why you should think about funding SheFi? Well, right now, many of the initiatives to build awareness in the crypto space really stop at that awareness. And in a bear market, hoping people will download your app, make multiple swaps, be long-term brand ambassadors is really hard when it's just hard to market crypto in general. It really works to use aggressive marketing channels and awareness that actually turn into downloads when it's a crypto bull market and there's money to be made. The incredible thing about SheFi is even in bear markets, right now we have over 1,300 applications for this next cohort. People show up. So they come to a dedicated class twice a week for 4 weeks, 2 hours, taught by me, and they download wallets. They fund them. They make their first swaps. They stake in DAOs. They vote, they mint, and they're long-term users of the ecosystems that I bring them into. And I've been bringing people into Ethereum for 6 years now. So it's a totally different type of channel when we think about marketing. And we do it in a way where we do education, experimentation, and community. So they come to class, they're actually prompted through quests and an AI agent I've built to do the next best action. And then they have this community of thousands of women supporting them. And studies show that women learn better in communal settings. And when people come to live classes like I provide, they complete courses at an 85% rate. And when people just sign up for passive courses, they complete at like a 15% rate. So my methodology works. People come, they show up, they learn, they build community, and then they come to events like I hosted last week where they're actually surrounded by senior executive women in the space who all at one point were new in their journey, came through SheFi, and like I said, are now leaders at the big protocols and at the institutions building in crypto. So that's what SheFi does through our education, experimentation, and community first approach. We have proof over and over again. And if you follow us on your socials, you'll continue to see us highlight the amazing alumni that have come through this program and are now directors, VPs, executives, founders, COOs at crypto companies across the globe. I'm super passionate about education and bringing more people into this space, not just to be even users, but to be builders and people shaping the movement, right? And I think that the proof is in the numbers and the stories. And I hope that you understand when you fund SheFi, you're funding a person's ability to sit in a classroom and actually learn information. You're not hoping they see your tweet. You're not hoping they click like on your Instagram or they comment something on LinkedIn. They're actually showing up to a class and absorbing information. That's a very different activity than most of the marketing spend in the crypto space today. So I am a channel that onboards people that become leaders in the space because they get the technical knowledge, they use the apps, and they belong to a lifelong community that supports them through their career journey. So that's probably been about 5 minutes. Thank you so much for having me. You can always find us at SheFi.org on any socials if you have any other questions.
Awesome. Maggie, thank you so much for being here. We do hope you feel better and appreciate you being a trooper.
Yeah, thank you. Food poisoning and a co-sleeping with a toddler. I would not. It's like a scene out of like a 1990s comedy, like parenting movie. Like they don't make those anymore, but they used to make those movies where like parenting is so funny and like truly food poisoning plus a teething toddler screaming like, why is mom sick, was like out of, we could have had like Robin Williams, play the dad and someone else. It was just very funny. And, and we're still here building. So shout out to all the parents. I know what you're going through.
Amen.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you soon and supporting you in the Epoch. Good luck.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. Man, what a trooper indeed. No tougher job in the world than being a mom or being the founder of an educational startup in the crypto space. Am I right? She's doing them both. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's keep it going. We are rolling through almost at the end of this demo day. I can't believe it. Stick around. We've got a few pitches left. Please join us in welcoming to the stage from Shutter. It's Loring. Loring, welcome to Demo Day.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. Let's cue the slides.
You got it, and your time begins now. Good luck. We'll see you in 5 minutes.
Wonderful. I am Loring. I'm with Shutter, and I'm here today to talk about the effort to encrypt the mempool. It is not just Shutter. It is a coalition of industry leaders. We've got client teams. We've got block builders. We've got encryption, decryption service providers. We've got beats. We've got privacy communities. We've even got our lovely, lovely hosts, Octant, as part of the coalition. And the goal of the coalition is to implement and encrypt the public mempool on Ethereum mainnet EIP by iStar hard fork. And just to take a step back and explain the benefits of an encrypted public mempool. Right now, today, when an Ethereum user submits a transaction to the public mempool, it's out there in the open and everyone can see it. And that means because they can see it, they can manipulate your transaction. If they manipulate it to give you a worse price, that's called a sandwich attack or toxic MEV. And if they manipulate it so that it is delayed from inclusion, that's real-time censorship. But the fix is surprisingly easy. We let Ethereum users encrypt their transactions before they go in the public mempool. Everyone can see that there's a transaction there, but they don't know the contents of the transaction, so they can't manipulate it. Then, once that transaction is included by a builder, ordered in the block, we decrypt the transaction, and that transaction is included on the chain as normal. Now, some people ask me, but what about private mempools? Haven't private mempools solved this issue? And that is laughable, because in this context, private doesn't mean privacy, it means permissioned. And so basically what you're doing is you're showing your transaction not to everyone, but you're showing it to a select group of people who sometimes, even though they said, trust me, bro, even then, they sometimes do toxic MEV or real-time censorship. And private mempools also promote centralization in the Ethereum transaction supply chain, including block builder centralization. So rather than giving this to trusted third parties, we really need to rely on cryptography and a protocol level implementation. And let me give you two solid reasons why we need to encrypt the mempool. The first is we need to encrypt for privacy. Eric Hughes, in a Cypherpunks manifesto, said privacy is the power to selectively reveal oneself to the world. And right now, Ethereum users are forced to reveal their transaction information to MEV bots or centralized third parties. And what that means is with no encrypted public mempool, there's no choice. Ethereum users have no power. They're forced to reveal their transaction contents, and they have no privacy. Second, encrypt for security. Vitalik Buterin, in a tweet recently, and I'm paraphrasing slightly, said, security closes the gap between a user's intent and the actual outcome, particularly in adversarial systems. And we have seen that Ethereum users have lost 1.8 billion, with a B, $1 billion to MEV, much of it from toxic MEV since 2021. So what that means is with no encrypted public mempool, Ethereum users lose funds. There's a huge gap between expectations and reality, meaning no security. So the Rota iStar hard fork is long. We need research, EIP design. We need clients to do spec and implementation. We need to do testing. And even once it's included in the Ethereum core protocol, we still need to get wallets and others to adopt it. So join me, encrypt the mempool, vote for us in Octant Epoch 12, and also learn more about us at fetter.network. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lauren. We really appreciate it. Great job nailing the 5-minute timing, and good luck with funding this epoch. Bye for now.
Always so entertaining to see Lauren present. Love it.
Yeah, absolutely. He's an excellent presenter. And speaking of excellent presenters, Nico, I understand that we've got a couple more things to cover about Octant and the new decision to accept direct ETH contributions. Tell me more about this. What do I need to know?
Yeah, well, for the first time ever, Octant is accepting ETH donations. We've heard your feedback. It was maybe a bit painful for newcomers who wanted to participate in the epoch to participate straight away. What we kept telling them was like they had to log GLM first and then come to the next round in order to accrue the ETH rewards, and only then they could participate. But now with a new mechanism that we've introduced that allows you to skip the waiting queue. And instead, what it does is with half of the amount that you want to contribute, it buys GLM and burns it so that you can basically skip the queue and use the rest of the ETH to donate and contribute to the matching pool. So let me bring up the application here, this beautiful new UI that we're also introducing in this epoch. Shout out to the dev team who's made an amazing work, not only in the UI, like all the background, everything is new here, and it's been incredible to see that powerhouse working through it. So let's jump to it straight away. As you can see, my rewards are maybe not as big from GLM locking. So if I go to allocate rewards, and here we have again the new tab that I need to share. Well, we will see that the after I connect my wallet, of course.
Pardon me. Yeah. Don't want to show that. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, so after I've connected my wallet, it tells me that I'm using the budget from accrued rewards. That is rather small. So if I click here on adjust budget, then here I can switch from accrued rewards to wallet ETH that you can see it's a little bit higher. What I would recommend here is to pay attention because all the ETH that is in your wallet is counted here. So you will definitely, if you have all your ETH in that wallet, you might want to crank it down and like set a fixed amount here. In my case, I'm going to do, let's say 0.007. And that's going to be my budget for the contribution that I will be doing in this epoch. And then, as I showed earlier, the voting experience is very smooth, very easy. I just scroll through the projects, pick the ones that I want to choose, and then review my ballot, make sure that the ETH is right. Oh, something to note here is that for ETH contributions, the balance needs to be higher than 0.02. So something to keep in mind. I don't have enough in this wallet, but I wanted to showcase that that is the case. And if you want to do direct ETH contributions, make sure that you have a higher amount there, and then you will be able to do that. If not, you can still go back and set your budget back to the accrued rewards that doesn't have a minimum. So
for the people who are measuring in dollars, it's about $42 and some change. So not too much to be able to participate. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, that's the way to participate on the new round with ETH rewards.
I just want to highlight how cool this is because when we were participating in the Epoch, a lot of the folks in our audience are not even ETH stakers. They're still just learning about crypto, but they wanted to support us. And they weren't able to do it because you had to be locking GLM tokens, staking GLM for at least so much time during the previous epoch before you were able to participate. So when we say Octant is for everyone, I think this is one of the best changes you could make to help everyday crypto users participate. You know, killer.
Yeah, I was trying to think of, I mean, it immediately just screams like the work being done here is so important. You got to make it as easy as possible for everybody to participate regardless of when they discovered it. I mean, in the name of onboarding and growth, it's a killer move.
Yeah. So congratulations to you guys. I'm excited to see how many more people participate. I know the Golem Foundation is going to see that as a huge success. So let's keep talking about cool projects that are successful. The next project we've got a video from. They couldn't be here with us today, but I feel like it kind of fits the vibe. This is the Tor project. And Nico, I know you've got another video for them. And I want to remind everybody that if you're like Cvish tuning in live, don't hesitate to throw a comment in the chat. If you're listening in the future, follow us at octant.app on X. Leave your feedback there. And don't hesitate to try the quadratic funding calculator, qf.octant.app, or now with the ETH in your wallet, participate in the funding round. You can find out more about all these killer projects at octant.app. I see we've got the video here. So Nico, take it away. Just kidding. I think I rugged myself. Nico, you pull that video back up again. Let's leave Alex down there for a minute. And once we've got the Tor project, we'll send it. Go for it.
1 second. Seems like our master controller here is rugging us. StreamYard,
Is that you,
I mean.
Alex?
Not
Come
Alex.
on, Alex.
I swear this
No,
time
I'm
it's not
joking.
me.
No, it's not you. It's the audio. Wait a second.
No problem. That's fine. I will say this has been some of the most fun I've had listening to pitches in a minute. If you are a founder in this group, if you're a contributor, a steward, then give yourself a pat on the back and some ice cream after this. If you're somebody like Sivish who's been watching all these pitches, don't forget to go outside and touch grass before you come back. How long is the Epoch voting going to be live for, Nico, for people who want to participate?
It will go on until the end of the month, until 30th of June. So
you
still
really
have time
can.
to review. We're going to have live streams with the projects, themed live streams that are going to have pretty interesting conversations until the end of the Epoch. So you get to know the projects even deeper if you want to. So yeah, you'll have time to vote afterwards as well.
Yeah, this is like a jumping off point just to getting to know you. We really hope that you'll go to octant.app, learn more about every one of them, and then vote as somebody who is well informed for as many of these projects as move you. You give them life in the world. Let's try it again. Let's see if we've got audio.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me at this demo day. My name is Pavel, and I'm going to quickly talk about Tor's mobile experience. Over the last few years, the internet has become increasingly mobile. As a shock to no one, our favorite websites have become our favorite apps on our phone. And that's really where a lot of challenges arise for many users, especially those who need strong privacy protections. Also those who rely on censorship circumvention. We're even seeing it in a lot of our recent data. Our most recent user polling shows more people than ever are opting to use Tor on mobile. New users were 4 times more likely to use Tor on mobile devices. And among regular users, Tor browser for desktop and mobile was largely split 50-50. With all this in mind, a few years ago, we set out to extend those strong privacy protections that Tor users are asking for to the mobile experience. And this is why we launched Tor VPN Beta a few months ago. It's the Tor project's first app that offers privacy protections for your whole mobile device, not just the browser. With Tor VPN, users can now access the Tor network's protections across all the apps on their phone. The traffic gets routed per the design over the Tor network, encrypted 3 times and bounced over 3 locations. But what truly separates this VPN from many others is the fact that every app that a user chooses to route over the network gets its own Tor circuit, rather than sharing a single tunnel. That means the activity from one app can't easily be linked to another. So your news app doesn't see what your social app is doing. And also onlookers of the network will not be able to correlate to behavioral patterns. It's a design choice that aims at reducing cross-tracking by default. It's also a design choice heavily inspired by the cross-site tracking feature on Tor browser. Tor VPN is also built from the ground up using Tor's new programming language, RD. That is basically the Tor code rewritten in Rust. It is also wholly owned by the nonprofit behind Tor, the Tor project. So the app is and will always remain free. There are many more features that I don't really have time to go into detail today, but I'd like to encourage everybody who uses Android devices to go download it either from the Play Store, F-Droid, or get the APK on the Tor download pages and check it out. The app, as the name suggests, is still in its beta phase, so helping test the app will not just go great ways to supporting its development, but also figuring out what features to add. At the same time, please expect bugs. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm going to pass it on to the next speaker. Bye.
Excellent. The Tor project, Cvish says, no Apple App Store, as is often the case, but hey, you're early. Well, friends, we're almost at that time. We've only got a few more to go, so we won't delay this at all. We're going to welcome our next speaker to the stage. David, welcome to Demo Day. How are you, sir?
Good.
Thank you so much for being here. Do you have a screen share by chance that we can get started for you, or are you just talking today?
Let's see. I do have a screen share.
Take your time getting it up. No problem.
All right.
And in the meantime, we're very close to 1,000 viewers. So if you get a chance to share it with your friends and family and communities, please do so. Let's get to that milestone.
That would be killer to see it happen during David's presentation. I've got it here. I'm bopping it up to the screen. And David, I'll ping you. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Good luck.
All right. Thank you so much. David Casey here from Funding the Commons and coming through. All right, everyone. So really happy to be here and happy to be a former recipient of Octant funding. And very grateful to be participating in this round with so many incredible projects. So Funding the Commons is an organization that exists to innovate and accelerate public goods funding infrastructure and mechanisms. In other words, innovate on the ways and means and technologies that fund public goods and commons, the allocation of resources, the governance of how those resources are allocated, the rails that distribute those resources, and the techniques and technologies that measure the impact and effectiveness of resources that are distributed so that future funding campaigns can be even more effective. So in the last few months, we ran our flagship festival. We had actually about 1,000 people come through. It was a 16-floor event on Pi Day weekend, 3/14, and had some good Octant presence there as well. During this event, we ran a governance experiment where we distributed funds with the support of Octant to a number of communities, technology communities in San Francisco that used the funds, governed how those funds were used, and deployed those funds towards their kind of own mini event within an event, if you will. And then we published a governance report on how the communities decided how to spend their funds. And I'm happy to share that research as well. It's on our website, fundingthecommons.io. Let's see, I'm going to switch to this tab, and this has been inspired by and some of the other projects that have been in previous Octant rounds, including Open Source Observer and Gainforest. So we finally built our own public impact metrics dashboard. So this is a little bit of the history, and the URL is right here. It's a app that I vibe coded myself, so feedback welcome. And this is like a little bit of the impact metrics of the organization over time. We've run 3 open source software developer residencies. We have run a number of public goods funding campaigns, and we've run a number of hackathons as well. So a bunch of numbers here. Some really incredible open source projects have come through our developer residencies. The last one we ran in Buenos Aires at the end of last year. And yeah, that's about that for metrics. And I think the most exciting thing that we are working on this year is together with the last speaker, the Tor project, and really happy to be with them in this round. And we are running a quadratic funding campaign with Tor project together to fund internet freedom. And it's actually, I believe, the last day of that campaign. And it is a multi-chain project. So we're collaborating with the Ethereum community and other communities. Octant has generously supported the match fund for this round as well. And it's a pretty exciting initiative. We hope to do more work together with the Tor project and with other Octant recipients to create public goods funding campaigns that reach a broader segment of the internet that supports open source. And yeah, I think you can check it out yourself at internetfreedom.torproject.org. We have managed to get almost 200K through this fund together with the Tor project and Web3 Privacy Now, another of our partners. And I believe I'm at 5 minutes. So thank you so much. And we're running another event in San Francisco and hope to see many of you there.
David, thank you so much. Great pitch. Great work. Good luck this epoch.
Thank you.
Okay, friends, we're finally there. We have got one pitch to go, but don't go anywhere because we're going to have a few closing remarks. We have two projects that couldn't join us that Nico is going to share some details about. You definitely want to stick around. And we're almost at that next milestone, man. So many people tuning in, so many great projects. Absolutely love to see it, don't we? Almost 1,000 views. Can we get there?
Oh, we can get there.
I don't know, man. Let's go. Share the stream. Let people know this is where the future of public goods funding is happening. And please join me in welcoming to the stage our friend Griff from Seal 911. Griff, welcome to Demo Day.
GM, it's great to be here. Amazing. It's so incredible to see the cool updates from Octant. I love the burn mechanism.
Isn't it killer?
Killing it. I'm so glad that QF is still alive. I love seeing you guys experiment with the old version of QF, like the square root versus the COCM, which is like the one Giveth uses. You know, we're a fellow QF practitioner, so love seeing the you guys keep it alive.
I know they're excited.
Yeah. I guess I'm supposed to present Seal. So I'm not actually a member of Seal. I'm just basically their biggest fan. Probably not their biggest fan because they haven't rescued millions and millions of dollars for me. They just rescue it for millions and millions of dollars for the ecosystem.
Well, we know that you'll be a good steward of the time. We'll give you about 5 minutes. We'll bump down and then we'll bump back in. Good luck.
Oh, thanks. Oh, and I'm supposed to share screen, right?
You can if you want to. You don't have to.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Bring it on up. And then once you get it live, I'll add it to the stream.
I'm in.
He is in. And Griff, your time begins.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so Seal 911 is an incredible project that probably everyone needs to know about. Crypto is very secure. It's like especially the Ethereum blockchain, it's like extremely secure, but it's often not very safe. And Seal is kind of that. Seal 911 is kind of the safety net for everyone. It's literally 911 for anyone in crypto. And it's really important that you all know this. If you take one thing away from this presentation, it's that there's this Telegram bot, Seal _911 bot, that if you ever have your Telegram taken over, if you ever have some kind of crypto exploit that happened to you, your accounts were phished, or if you know a smart contract exploit, then these are the people to call. I'll give an example. Here, Trustless State is explaining David Hoffman, ETH hater #1. No, I'm just kidding. Everyone's giving him shit these days. Anyway, he talks about an experience where his friend got phished from a fake Ledger Live app, and Seal 911 was actually able to rescue all of the funds that were taken from this. This is 450K of ETH that was going to be withdrawn from the hacker, and then they helped coordinate that person with Flashbots. Flashbots charged them 5% to race the hacker to get the funds out, and they actually were able to rescue his money. And this is the kind of direct response that I love to see from Seal. I love to see in the space, and Seal 911 is the only group who's doing it. Also, maybe a bigger one that I was a part of, I'm on the Arbitrum Security Council, and recently in the layer 0 exploit, the RSE, Kelp DAO, Aave whole drama thing that happened, Seal 911 basically coordinated with the Arbitrum Security Council to make the freeze of $70 million from North Korea possible. This would not have happened without Tae, Tanuki, PC, and all the Seal 911 crew coordinating behind the scenes, and they don't even take credit for it, right? This whole DeFi United, $300 million donated, this all happened because Seal 911 was able to coordinate with the Arbitrum Security Council so that we could actually freeze $70 million of funds from North Korea. This is what Seal 911 does every day. They have coordinated over 4,000 tickets. They've managed over 250 war rooms. This is in 2.5 years. That's this is insane. 100 war rooms a year, basically. Every 4 days, they're running a war room for someone in crypto, and they've rescued well over $200 million in assets. And I think they're being very conservative with how much assets they've actually rescued. And I can tell you from personal experience, just a year ago, I clicked a bad approve. I've been in crypto for literally 13 years. And I clicked a bad approve last year. And I instantly messaged Seal 911. Hey, I did this. Is there anything I can do? They're like, no, you're screwed. But talking to them, there were other people messaging me after they saw I clicked the bad approve, trying to tell me that they were good guys helping them and that I need to revoke approvals. And then they sent me a scam website. And I just messaged Seal 911, do you know these guys? I'm pretty sure they're sending me a scam website. They're like, yeah, we know those guys. They're ambulance chasers, chasing people who are hacked to try to steal more of their money. I mean, it's just such a dangerous space. And having Seal 911, the heroes from Seal 911, protecting users nonstop, every day, 24/7, 365, is just the most important public good I think we can have in the crypto space. So I think that's my time. I think you guys can take it away from here.
Hey, Griff. Thanks, man. Great presentation. And if you want more than 5 minutes to tell some of that riveting story, I know that we have a whole audience of people who would be interested in hearing about it. The Arbitrum Council thing was it was so cool. It was so cool.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you know what's especially funny? 10 years ago today, the DAO was hacked. Now, the DAO was my project, and I helped manage the recovery effort from the DAO. And in the DAO recovery effort, we had a hard fork, the Ethereum network, to steal money from the DAO hacker and actually us, because we also hacked the DAO. We actually rescued twice as much money. We hacked the DAO for twice as much money as the bad guy. I just want to throw that down.
Yeah. So take that, bad guys.
Yeah. What you got? But anyway, so we were stewarding that funds, but the hard fork took the money from us, took the money from the bad guy, and gave it all back to the community, right? And this was the first example of a kind of a irregular state transition, rescuing a hack. And somehow, almost 10 years later, I was part of the similar thing that happened with the Arbitrum Security Council. So where Arbitrum, the network, it's managed and protected by the Security Council. We are a 9 of 12 multi-sig. And in situations where things need to be fixed, and the DAO has a 30-day period of what it takes for the DAO to actually change something in the Arbitrum rollup. The Security Council can do it instantly in case of a bug, right? Well, this was a pretty bad bug in a way. The North Korea was able to bridge a bunch of ETH to Arbitrum that they stole from the layer 0 hack. And then they actually stole $300 million, and they bridged 70 million of it to Arbitrum, and then used the RS-ETH token that they bridged to actually deposit into Aave and withdraw a bunch of ETH. and then but that was all stolen money.
Now hang on. This is on record other places, but we want to get you on record telling it with all the expansive details and all the time. Unfortunately, Griff, I have to cut you off because we have 2 projects left to showcase. I simply want to say thank you for representing them well, and to Seal 911, good luck in Epoch 12. We'll catch you a little later.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Evan.
Bye for now, Griff. Okay. Crazy stuff. Nico, I know that you've got 2 projects that couldn't make it here today to highlight, and then we'll do a couple of final thoughts. But Alex, first, I just want to give you a chance and everybody watching just to say like how cool this was. Wasn't it incredible to hear about all these projects?
No, for sure. And I mean, the first thank you obviously goes to Octant for hosting yet another Epoch, for bringing in all of these super cool projects, giving them a platform to talk about the work they're doing. And for bringing us in to help you guys tell a better story. We say it all the time that, you know, unfortunately, the things that often take the main stage in, you know, current events and news and, you know, things that are being reported. As we're sitting here, I'm seeing the report from CoinDesk about some weird law being put into place in Chicago to tax personal transactions, even between your own wallets with 0.2. Like these are the things that come from public facing stories not being told well by people who are actually doing really important work. And obviously, you know, the participants in the Octant Epochs are the exact opposite of that. So anything we can do to help tell that story louder and in more places is really, really rewarding and fulfilling. So thank you guys for letting us help you guys do it.
I am a big fan of this.
Yes, thank you, Alex, and thank you, Alex. Nico, you want to take a second to highlight the last 2 projects that couldn't be here today?
Sounds good. Let's jump straight to EEZ, Ethereum Economic Zone. Unfortunately, they're super busy with DappCon, coordinating a lot of things IRL in Berlin, so they couldn't make it today. But they're another one of the projects that are participating in Epoch 12. They're doing fantastic work to make ZK interoperable rollups faster and easier. They are coordinating a lot of different projects. You can see the list there on eez.io. You can find them there, and big shout out to them for all the crazy work. We know how hard it is to coordinate all this stuff, so and especially unify all the things that seemed a little bit more fragmented in the past, but now are a lot better. So shout out to them. They couldn't make it today, but still consider them for your ballot when you're voting. And the next one that is similar to Seal 911, that is ZachXBT. Probably many of you know him. He's one of the saviors of our industry, I would say. He's managed to identify a lot of hackers, scammers, and bad actors in the industry. I don't know how much money he saved from people and from others, but here we see the pinned tweet is already talking about someone who stole $243 million that Zach managed to investigate and get to him. So big shout out to ZachXBT, all the work that he's done. Also, I would say as underappreciated as Seal 911 in terms of security and in terms of the amount of value that they are securing and helping protect on the Ethereum and in the crypto ecosystem in general. So shout out to those amazing projects as well. Please do consider them for when you're voting in Epoch 12.
Man, killer projects. And you'll get to know them over more time through all the different conversations that Octant is going to be hosting throughout the end of the month, the end of this epoch. Plenty of time to allocate your funds, to unstake some ETH. If you want to contribute ETH or wrapped ETH to this cause, then we would encourage you to do it. Don't forget, you can check out quadratic funding at qf.octant.app with the simulator, the slider, learn about true alpha. Even if you're not a math nerd, they're going to make it simple. We've got some great content coming up about it that we partnered with Octant on, and a lot of your favorite builders from around the ecosystem. And Alex, do you want to give a quick pitch? Tell people who are wondering, who didn't hear it, who the heck are these guys? Why is Octant letting them drive? What do we do, man?
We just kind of showed up, and they couldn't say no. No, we are from Rise Up Media, which is an operation dedicated to telling a better story about crypto. It's an industry that has gotten, admittedly, a lot wrong, but also gets a lot of stuff right. And unfortunately, the gap between the people that this industry was created, founded, and has continued to grow in order to serve are often left out of the experience of growing along with it and learning. And a lot of that just comes from the fact that we kind of live in this little bubble. So we exist to bridge that gap between the bubble that is crypto Twitter and the masses that we purport to want to onboard on every other social media platform. So while we might be small over here, we do a lot of work on TikTok primarily, and on Facebook, actually, which is, shout out, the fastest growing platform for us right now, where the median age of the overwhelming majority of our audience are senior citizens who just get left behind by the conversation, have heard about all this stuff. It's so much buzzy jargon, nonsense. It's so hard to get good, well-paced, well-intentioned, important information about this kind of stuff and not feel like you're getting left behind. So we exist to help solve that problem.
That's right. You can find us and our content on your favorite social at RUMSHQ.com. I often say, because it's true, we are wherever you are, whenever you listen. If it's a podcast, if it's a Facebook post, if it's a newsletter, or you just need a slow place to ask a question, get a second opinion where somebody's not going to try and scam you or sell you some junky token, our friends at the show like Octant, and so much more is waiting for you. The only thing missing at RUMSHQ is, in fact, you. So thank you, Nico. Thank you, Octant, for trusting us to help you tell a better story and for letting us have so much fun. Honestly, Alex, I think you said it earlier.
I am a big fan of this.
And we
sounds
look
like
forward,
something I would say.
We look forward to helping you guys again soon. Nico, do you have a final thought, ask, request, or anything else for the audience today?
No, first of all, I wanted to really thank you guys. What an upgrade it's been from the last demo day. You guys are really, really fantastic. It's been hella fun to do this with you. It's gonna be hard not to have you in the next one and make it this fun, to be honest. Like, the bar is so high, so I'm super excited for it. Shout out to all the projects. Thank you for all the hard work that you're doing. It's truly incredible, and I hope that with Octant we can support you all. There's always more. We know that there's a bunch of projects who could also be in the round but couldn't make it. It's really tough to pick only 25 or whatever number the Epoch is for these projects, but it is what it is. And but you're seen, and whatever we can support. And just a final shout out to the team behind the scenes. All the hard work that the Octant team, both technical and non-technical, is doing to make this happen is insane. Truly humbling to be part of such an amazing team. On the technical side, I mean, if you see the improvement from V1 to V2, like the smooth experience, like all the new mechanisms that are being tried out, and the things we're building for the future. So all the things that are coming, new mechanisms and new forms to participate in this, and for other ecosystems to be part of the network, is truly thanks to the team. All the visibility that we're managing to get and to reach all those projects is truly hard work that is sometimes not seen. So big shout out to the team. Thank you guys again. This has been one of my favorite live streams ever. So yeah.
Well, Nico, we may not be back for the next one. This is our first time hosting with you, and it might be our last time, though. We'll see what we can do. But we might drop by on some of the other live streams that you're going to be hosting to help folks in the community get to know these products, projects, how to fund properly. Do you want to pitch that real quick?
Yeah, so for the next few days until the Epoch is over on the 30th of June, we're going to have daily live streams every day at the same time, 10 a.m. Eastern, where we're going to have themed live streams with few projects. It's going to be 3 or 4 projects that we're going to be talking with about topics that are relevant to them so that they can showcase their work, so they can talk about the topic that they're most knowledgeable about, and so that they hopefully can convince people to vote for them as well. And yeah, super stoked to do that.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Nico, and thank you everybody for your time today. It is your most precious asset, and we hope to see you again in the next one. Follow
Evan.
along at Octant.
Not to rug you, but
Rug
I'm
me, man,
sitting
rug
here
me.
waiting, thinking like, is he gonna address it? We did officially cross 1,000 views for the stream, so milestone hit, and that is
Nice.
cool as hell.
That is cool as hell. We did it right at the end, and we couldn't have done it without every one of you. So if you missed the
planned it
start
that
of the
way.
stream, play it back, check out all the cool projects, follow Octant app on X, and check out the quadratic funding calculator at octant.app, and then go allocate to these amazing projects. We'll see you again in the next one. Everybody, until then, be well. Bye, friends.